about you. All they're talking about is that Jonathan Davenport and that Chris Madden.
Comes Brandon over to the outside. He'll take the lead. The winner of the Dirt Late Model Dream for the third straight time is Brandon Overton.
Eldora, I guess that's all I can say. We're going to keep fighting. We don't give up. We'll be here till the end.
That's still one I really feel like I got to check off my bucket list. We brought the check home, but we didn't win it.
This is what I wanted to be, you know, the whole time I was growing up. I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to be a race car driver.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eldora Speedway, the final night of racing here for the 30th running of the Dirt Late Model Dream. Tonight, one driver is going to walk out of here a winner of over $100,000. The pit area is full. The camping spots are full. As you can tell, the parking lots are full as well. We're glad that you're with us, whether you're here on the grounds or you're watching at home on FloRacing. Happy to have you here. I'm Dustin Jarrett, as always, joined beside my BFF, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, James Essex. Man, you could, we say it every year, you can feel the intensity in the air here at Eldora for these crown jewel events.
Well, I like the new format. First off, I'll say that. Now, you know, some people, they have a right to their opinion, but I think it's worked out. Guys that ran here Thursday fixed their cars yesterday. Some of them I heard went fishing. Yeah. Then the guys that were sitting here watching last night. But the track the last two nights have been fantastic. Today started out in cloudiness, sunshine now, but it's going to be a beautiful evening, and we're going to give over $600,000 this weekend. There you go, right there.
The six
there you are.
Heat races right there. You could probably sell this for about as much as the winner is going to take home this evening. We're going to have 6 heat races tonight, 15 laps in distance. Top 3 will transfer. We'll talk a little more about the format here in just a second as we go ahead and take a look at this evening's race info. We just mentioned 6 15-lap heat races. Of course, a 4 was spun on the Wheel of Misfortune last night by Ricky Thornton Jr., so the drivers got points every time they were on the racetrack. Those points then, that set the stage for tonight's heat races with the top 4 in each heat race inverted. That is to say, the highest driver in points starts 4th, highest driver in points in that particular heat starts on the pole. Top 3 will transfer, James. That'll give us 18 cars. The 19th and 20th starting positions, those are reserved for the 2 highest drivers in points that did not transfer out of their heats. We'll then have 2 B mains. Right. Top 2 will transfer out of those B mains, and that will set the stage for tonight's 100-lap, $100,000 to win 30th running of the Dirt Late Model Dream.
And the 2 drivers that won the previous 2 nights, Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran, the top point men. Again, that was based on qualifying points, heat race points, main event points. So they're going to be in the show no matter what. If they don't make it out of heat, they don't have to run the B mains. They would start 19th and 20th. So the provisional list would be Thornton, Moran, Dale McDowell, Josh Rice, Brandon Shepard, Jonathan Davenport.
Well, those are the
you think Jonathan Davenport can take a a he might, if he wins heat 6.
He's going to be on the pole.
He's going to be on the pole tonight.
Yep. The winner of the first heat race starts 6th. The winner of the 6th heat race rolls from the pole. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Eldora Speedway track facts. This racetrack was built in 1954, James, 70 years ago. Earl Baldus had a dream of opening one of the fastest half-mile dirt tracks in the entire country, and it soon became a reality. Half-mile is the distance, Clay Oval, and it's always good to be back for these marquee events here. The World 100, and as of last year, the Dirt Track World Championship at the end of the season.
And we'll be here for all 3 of those. And talked to Terry Baltus earlier. I said, were you here for the very first race in 1954? He said yes. He doesn't remember it, though. He was
little. He was young, very young.
Before he went off to the Ohio State University.
That's exactly right.
There you go.
Well, we are going to head off to the first set of commercial breaks here tonight. For those of you that are watching at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more pre-race coverage from the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream. You're watching it all live right here on FloRacing.
There's no one way to power up, as long as Ford is your starting line. Because more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it. gas, hybrid, or all electric, the power is yours.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel.
Years of experience, Buzzy Racing has mastered the art of drivetrain specialties, spanning from dirt to asphalt tracks. You're not just a customer, but a valued member of our family, embraced by the tradition and passion embedded in every Buzzy build. We cover everything from rebuilding and selling drivetrain components, offering custom Buzzy parts, steering box services, and ensuring top-notch maintenance and support for braking systems. We are committed to excellence in helping racers maintain a competitive edge on the track. Get it Buzzy built.
Races down, 181 to go.
It ain't that many.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot.
Optimist, pessimist.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the world's greatest dirt track, Eldora Speedway, for the final night of racing action here for the 30th annual running of the Dirt Late Model Dream. A great look there at Vendors Row, and it is absolutely packed right now. So it's a great shot from our K1 race gear drone, as they've provided you just absolutely outstanding aerial shots here all weekend long from the Big E. James, been another absolutely gorgeous day out there today. As Ben Shelton would say, a Chamber of Commerce day out here today. Let's take a look at your weather forecast, and it is 79 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour winds, scattered clouds, as you can see, and virtually no chance of rain once again here today. We got all that out of the way on Wednesday.
We're at scattered clouds. Broken clouds have disappeared on us, but we're at scattered down. Looking forward to it. Hey, Scott Bloomquist, pole of a heat race. Billy Moyer back at Eldora. Could we work some final Bloomquist-Moyer magic and they get in there and battle to the end? Wouldn't that be something else for the ages? But, man, the last two nights, Ricky Thornton Jr., the winner, and in that great win last night, the Moran curse broken in 23 years since Donnie Moran won the Eldora Million in 01, and Devin Moran coming on with a well-deserved victory last night, Dustin.
Absolutely, James. Well, hey, want to send the QR code to the screens now for those of you watching at home, and those of you here on the grounds. We've had a lot of folks. I mean, it's just my phone's been blowing up about getting this new FloRacing swag. You can scan that QR code or go to shopflowsports.com. Brand new merchandise available on the website. I got tired of waiting. I ordered some last night as well. So,
did you get the corporate discount?
I did not even get a corporate discount. Nope. So maybe Mark Floriani can add a little money to my paycheck here next time. So there it is. Scan that QR code and grab yourself some of that new FloRacing merchandise before the popular sizes run out. Speaking of popular popular. We have got two popular pit reporters waiting on us down on the Eldora Speedway victory stage. Let's welcome in our good friends Ben Shelton and Mike Norris.
Well, thank you very much. Dustin Jarrett and James Essex. Ben Shelton down here with Mike Norris. Mike down to night number 3, and we've got some time to reflect here before the engines fire up. We had the first nights of split field action, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Were you a fan or no?
I absolutely love it. I love when the crowd comes down. Last night, the crowd got to come down. They got to interact with the drivers. We got to have some fun up there. You know, the past format, it was late. You know, it's cool to see the kids come down the hill and just their eyes get huge and they get to see these awesome drivers.
I have seen more fans in the pit area after the races and the sing-alongs up top, so we'll see what the future holds. One thing I do know, if you didn't like the split fields, well, tonight is for you because everybody's going to be racing together. 6 big heat races, 29 editions of the Dirt Late Model Dream. There have been 17 different winners. 9 of those drivers are in action, and you heard Dustin talking about it. It's cool when you see Bloomquist and Moyer showing speed, but don't hide on Shane Clanton. He went 19th to 6th the other night. He's a former champion. He's only run a handful of races this year, and the veterans are feeling pretty racy. I want to know, I'm not saying you to pick right now, but could we have a surprise winner tonight?
Yes. Anytime you're at Eldora, you could definitely have a surprise winner, but you just never know who it's going to be. It could be a veteran, could be one of these young guys. I like the guys, like you said, with experience. Of course, Dale McDowell was up on the podium. Yeah, could be a veteran for sure, but those young guys, they're here to race. Ricky, Bobby, it's going to be awesome.
Well, last night they spun the wheel of misfortune, did Ricky Thornton Jr., the top every lap matters points leader, and he spun the 4, so the top 4 in every heat race tonight are inverted. There'll be 3 coming out of those heat races, and again, keeping an eye on that 6th heat race because the winner of that one starts on the pole, and don't sleep on the fact that the driver that's inverted in that one, starting 4th, Jonathan Davenport, 2-time and defending champion, and a guy that a lot of people think is the guy to beat here this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And last night, maybe a little dust up, but you know, they got that ready to go. He hits the invert, as you said. And what I'm looking for, they've been here for three days, now 4 days, counting the Wednesday rain out. Tonight, it's time to earn the money. Elbows up, paychecks are coming in the mail when they get done. You're going to earn the money tonight. You might hurt some feelings, but you got to get to the front.
Well, we couldn't be more excited to be here tonight. We're going to step aside, thank some marketing partners. We come back to Eldora Speedway. Pre-race festivities are going to draw closer. The 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream. We're so excited to have you here at Eldora Speedway or watching live on FloRacing. We'll be right back.
I'll just put it this way, we'll be back. With some hard work of Mark Richards and all the people at Rocket, we'll be back.
Your opening night winner at East Bay Raceway Park is going to be Tyler Erb. Ashton Winger gets it done on a Tuesday night at East Bay.
But it's going to be the Reaper out of Marshalltown, Iowa. His first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
And it's going to be Hudson O'Neal getting his first win. Back-to-back winner at East Bay Raceway Park. Hudson O'Neal wins it. $20,000 later, Alligator. Hudson O'Neal wins it at 1.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
Welcome to Leyfeld.
Hey race fans, picture this, a tap house with 46 taps where you make all the choices, paying by the ounce as you try all of your favorites on our unique self-serve pouring wall. Sure Shot Tap House offers something for everyone, from crafts, ciders, and seltzers to old favorite domestics, bourbon, and wine. Oh, and let's not forget our awesome beer-inspired food menu. So race fans, while at Eldora, be sure to check out the Sure Shot Tap House. Online at SureShotTapHouse.com, just right down the road in Greenville.
Welcome back to the Saturday evening of the Dirt Late Model Dream 30. And Randy Weaver and Derek Kessinger to my left down here in the beautiful Eldora Media Center in the infield. Guys, I still say to this day, I've been coming to Eldora for 32 consecutive years. I've been around the sport of dirt late model racing for 42. I hate to admit my age at this point. Yeah, I got it. There is still nothing like an Eldora Saturday, right? There is nothing in this sport, anywhere in this sport, like a major event Eldora Saturday. And like Dustin said earlier, Randy, you still just can feel that energy in the air, unlike anywhere else, Dream or World 100.
Absolutely. You just walk through the pits. Everything's getting intense. Everybody's getting revved up for tonight. And I still tell people back in our region racing, I'm like, if you've never been, go. I promise you it'll give you cold chills on the green flag of the first heat. It's just what it is, and it's the biggest stage.
Derek, you've done a lot of Saturdays here. It still kind of feels the same every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, everybody's mostly hanging out, having a good time, little chit-chat, but I was up at the drivers meeting and autograph session talking to Trent Ivey, Josh Rice, and Tyler Erb. They're all in heat number 4, excuse me. And Trent Ivey's like, they're going to conspire against me to, pass me. I'm like, well, yes, they are. And they all kind of giggle, but, in the back of their mind, they're like, we will definitely do that to get the win.
There are no friends.
No friends on Saturday. Yeah. And, man, Michael Rigsby, these heat races are going to be fun and exciting.
Well, there's still, from the first time I was 10 years old and came here, when Bernice Baltus used to sell these heat lineup sheets for $1 at the grandstand, and I would make my mother wait until 4 in the morning after qualifying 242 cars were over. This is still the most coveted piece of paper in all of dirt late model racing. Quickly on the heats, I observed 3 things: a surprise, an opportunity, and a who's going to do it. And what I mean by the surprise first is Bobby Pierce, despite that blown motor the other night, still in an okay position, I think, to put himself okay on Saturday. An opportunity in the fact that heats 3, 4, and 5, the pole sitters are Carson Ferguson, Trent Ivey, and Ashton Winger. Randy Weaver, you know this. When you get an Eldora opportunity as a young driver, guys who don't have a lot of experience here, you have to cash it in. And the who's going to do it piece was Devin Moran, Jonathan Davenport, and Ricky Thornton Jr. all start 4th in the heat. Which one of those guys is going to win their heat? Those are the kind of things I'm looking at, Derek, as I observe these heats. What do you think?
I mean, if you're Ashton Winger, you win your heat race, you're starting in the front row. That guy has lived and breathed dirt late model racing. He is one of the biggest dirt on dirt fans. I mean, we started it before he was probably born, it seems like. Not really, but it's staying close. And to hold off Hudson O'Neal and Brandon Shepard to get a win, that'd be huge for his career. But the time that heat race number 5 comes around, Randy, it gets a little bit more racy, and there are going to be more sliders thrown. But, yeah, Ashton Winger has definitely a big-time opportunity here.
Yeah, definitely. Early on, like the first 3 heats, you look at them, they're really loaded up, from Overton, McCready, Devins in that one, in the second one. So the track's wide open, and those guys, of course, got the experience. But it's less chance of somebody making a mistake. The later heats, when it starts to shine off and blow off, get a little slicker, that's when the mistakes can come. But then here comes our rookie guys. They're in those. So it's not only going to be real nerve-wracking for those guys, a big opportunity, but it's going to be a chance for some other people to capitalize because if you ain't got many laps here, this place will teach you something.
Trent Ivey, that young Union, South Carolina driver, he's had a couple moments at Eldora before, right? It's not like he's totally foreign to this big stage and what he could do here. But like you said, Derek, Ashton Winger, Carson Ferguson. And again, I just want to reiterate, you've said this a couple times, we keep not talking about Nick Hoffman enough, right? He's inside row 2 of that 3rd heat, the World of Outlaw points leader. They're confident. I talked to his crew today. They really feel like they can win the Dream tonight. Can they beat 49 and 99 and 20 RT? Do you think so?
I think they absolutely can. And I don't know Nick personally really a lot. I've talked to him some, but I love his race cars because our cars was always really neat, just well put together. He takes pride in his stuff. You can tell by the way he drives them. And that guy that can sit back there and do that for 100 laps has got a chance.
And Derek Kessinger, heat number 2, somehow, some way, I don't think he's run this many races here, but for the 900th time, Scott Bloomquist has perfectly hit the Eldora invert. That used to joke back in the day he knew how to let off the throttle during qualifying on Friday night so he could hit that invert just right. He starts on the pole of his heat race, and of course Billy Moyer inside row 3. A little Moyer Bloomquist magic one more time at the Big E tonight.
It only took us 4 minutes and 25 seconds to mention Scott Bloomquist is on the front row of a heat race. Heat number 2.
He can win, I think, honestly.
I talked to him up there in the driver's autograph session. I was going around interviewing. he said, I'm like, you know how to work these inverts? He's like, well, that's the game plan, how he always says. And then I said, do you have a chance tonight? He's like, not only do we have a chance to win the heat race, we have a chance to win the whole effing thing. So he's confident. He's feeling good. Talked to his crew guy, Fireball. They had a Coming to Jesus meeting here this afternoon. So he's dialed in, and if Scott Bloomquist could have any magic of any racetrack, it would be this place because he is so damn good here. And just a few years ago in the 50th World, he started on the pole.
Randy, have you ever made the claim in your career, we are going to win the whole damn thing? Has those words ever come out of Randy Weaver's mouth?
No, not unless it was an eating contest or something. But Scott, I'm telling you, and everybody knows it, it would be great to see him win a heat race just to get, he's good for our sport, like him or not. And if there's ever a place he can do it, like Derek said, this is his place.
Lastly, before we get to show you some of the upcoming events on FloRacing, also, how about the guy just a couple of years ago, Brandon Overton, who won every dollar available at the Dirt Late Model Dream, is on the pole of Heat 1, and this is the first time we've mentioned him. There's Big Sexy in the backwards, trademarked backwards hat right there. Tonight on FloRacing, there are 15 races total live. 6
That's
dirt.
It?
Yeah, that's it. 6 dirt, 8 pavement, and 1 off-road race tonight. And we have a plethora of events coming up as well. High Limit at Eagle next week for $50,000 to win. USAC Eastern Storm. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series returns to action next week at Smoky Mountain. And of course, after that, the Firecracker 100 at Lernerville. The Cars Tour is at Dominion and American Flat Track, which Randy Weaver's actually going to hop on a motorcycle, Derek, and do American Flat Track soon. What do you think about that?
I will say a nice prayer for you, Randy, because those guys get after it, and those guys are crazy.
That's not true. I'm not going.
Not breaking news. We're about 9 minutes away from opening ceremonies. Derek and Randy and I will be back here before the feature later, but plenty more to come on the 30th annual Dream Saturday. We are live from Eldora Speedway. We'll be back after this set of commercial breaks.
I love the sound of someone getting their money's worth. I mean, where else are you gonna get ahs like that for 99 cents? Only in Casey's country. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. For a limited time, get medium fountain drinks for just 99 cents.
I'll just put it this way, we'll be back. With the hard work of Mark Leachers and all the people at Rocket, we'll be back.
Your opening night winner at East Bay Raceway Park is going to be Tyler Erb. Ashton Winger gets it done on a Tuesday night at East Bay.
But it's going to be the Reaper out of Marshalltown, Iowa. His first career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
And it's going to be Hudson O'Neal getting his first win. Back-to-back winner at East Bay Raceway Park. Hudson O'Neal wins it. $20,000 later, Alligator. Hudson.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Eldora Speedway. It is the Saturday portion, the final night of racing of the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream. And James, we have had 2 outstanding nights of racing here thus far. For the first time ever, we had the split fields. They took the fields, split them in half. Half the drivers ran on Thursday. The other half ran on Friday. Still the traditional every lap matters trademark, by the way. Every lap matters format with the points.
Registered trademark, yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right.
101 cars entered.
Yes.
50 ran here on Thursday. Was it 51 on Thursday and 50 last night? Or was it opposite? It was one of the two, but 101 here this week. Outstanding.
Absolutely. Well, we had a great show here on Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Thursday night highlights, as it was a wild night on Thursday night, to say the least. 50 laps, $25,000 went to the winner, and it was the smooth operator Bobby Pierce, or it was Ricky Thornton Jr. jumping out of the early lead until that guy Bobby Pierce was able to sneak by.
Yeah, you thought it was, he started on the front row. Thornton, you know how good he's been the last couple years. And then lap 15, Pierce takes the lead, runaway, it's over. But it was over. did not make it to the finish line, out of the race, mechanical issues. And then you had the double file restart here at the end between Thornton and Hudson O'Neal, who had started 15th in this race.
Yeah, just 3 laps to go whenever they had this double file restart. You see Chris Madden tossing his hat in the ring as well. But RTJ was not to be denied as he kept the SSI Motorsports entry out front, and he picked up the prelim win here on Thursday night, climbs out of the car and gives the big yell and celebrates in front of everyone. And he did enough on Thursday to earn himself the high points honor for the entire weekend. So he's one of only 2 drivers guaranteed a starting spot in the A main coming up here tonight. As again, the 19th and 20th positions, they're reserved for the 2 highest point drivers that have not raced their way in. Right. And then last night, maybe not as dramatic of a night last night, but a storyline nonetheless. Tiffany, let's go ahead and take a look at those highlights from last night's show. And I think 2 words sum up the racing action here last night, James. Curse broken.
Yeah, 2001, Donnie Moran. Of course, he's won the World 104 times. He's won a Dirt Late Model Dream. And Devin Moran, his son, had never won here at Eldora. And that ended after 23 years of frustration. And he led every lap. You see Davenport, you see right there a little bit of contact with the left front of JD's car. But he was unchallenged for most of this race and put a lot of lap cars between himself. But what a battle for second place between Shepard, McDowell, and Davenport.
He went 4 wide there momentarily coming off turn number 2, Shep and McDowell and Davenport and the rest of those drivers. But when it was all said and done, by a 3-second margin here last night, it was Dresden, Ohio's Devin Moran getting, as you mentioned, his first win at Eldora, the first time a Moran has won a race at Eldora Speedway in 23 seasons, and his run last night made him the 2nd highest point man, so he will be guaranteed a starting spot in this evening's main event as well.
And, you know, we talk about the 80s and the 90s and early 2000s. From 1988 to 2001 in the World 100, it was either Donnie Moran, Billy Moyer, or Scott Bloomquist won 12 of the 14 World 100s. Yeah. You know, the other 2 that didn't, Jack Boggs in 95, Steve Francis in 99. But it was domination by those 3 drivers. And you look at today, you think Davenport, Thornton, and we'll see what happens here. This is going to be great.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at what's coming up next week on Flo. You heard about some of the marquee upcoming events over the course of the next week. Of course, we've already talked about a few of these. Kubota High Limit Racing, Appalachian Mountain Speed Week, the Lucas Oil Series at Smoky Mountain. I'm telling you, Clash at the Creek at 141. That's one of my favorite racetracks. Twin $10,000 to win shows for IMCA Modifieds, one of the most competitive divisions in the country. Midweek racing as well. Toby Cruz will get that show done in an early hour. I promise you that'll be worth watching if you're a straight line fan. Maryland International is really good. That PDRA North versus South shootout brings out some of the best in the business. And of course, Ohio Sprint Speed Week back in action, and we're excited to host a handful of those events as well. We're going to step aside. Up next on the agenda, our first round of pre-race ceremonies from the Eldora Victory Stage. That's coming up on the other side of this set of commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream live right here on FloRacing.
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway, the third and final night of the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream as pre-race festivities are underway. Well, throughout the weekend, we have a lot of different awards on the line in addition to the over $600,000 in purse money. Part of that $10,000, the Every Lap Matters competition, every time these drivers hit the track, whether it's qualifying heat races, B-Main feature, they accumulate points. That's also what lined those heat races up tonight. The top 6 in points, splitting $10,000 in awards. And right now, we're going to bring those drivers to the stage as Ricky Thornton Jr., your top Every Lap Matters. Come on, Ricky. He'll get $3,000. We'll have Devin Moran. He's over there chugging a little water. He'll make his way out. $2,500 second in points. We have Dale McDowell. He picks up $2,000 for being third in the points. Josh Rice, $1,254. Brandon Shepard, $750. And Jonathan Davenport, $500. Guys, we'll have you scoot down a little bit here. And as we get everybody out here, $10,000. We're going to talk to your top 2 points earners, who, by the way, were the 2 feature winners, starting with Ricky Thornton Jr. RTJ, you guys are chasing $100,030 tonight, but man, $3,000 for being the top points guy, that's not too shabby either. What does that mean to your team to have this bonus money?
Oh, it's huge. It's more than a local win anywhere you go, so it's pretty cool that they give us this extra money. It's nice to get rewarded a little bit for having a good night, so it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's actually my first time being up here for the points stuff, so I came at once for a rookie, but I think that was about it. So I think we got a really good car. Hopefully we have a good night.
How tough was it to watch last night?
It was a little tough, although I feel like I'm kind of a nerd and I'm also a race fan, so I got to study a lot and I got to be a fan, so that side of it was really cool. Devin's stuff was really good. There was a few guys that were really good last night, so you get to kind of study off their stuff and hopefully make our stuff a little bit better.
Ricky Thornton Jr., your top points driver. We're also going to real quick talk to second in the points, Devin Moran. Devin, $2,500. You won 10 times that last night. Got your first Eldora win. You still feeling it today, or is today a new day and you're focused on one thing, and that's winning tonight's big finale?
Obviously you feel your first Eldora win, so still pumped about that, but just trying to focus on tonight. Obviously the track's going to be way different than what we had yesterday. They've got it way wetter, I'm assuming, so they don't have to work on it throughout the night. So we'll just got to stay out of trouble in these heat races and get up through there, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, that's your top 2 points earner, $10,000 in the Every Lap Matters. Race fans, how about a round of applause for Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran, Dale McDowell, Josh Rice, Brandon Shepard, and Jonathan Davenport. As we'll get a few photos of them here, and then we'll let them head back and get ready for hot laps here tonight. And then we're going to talk to your top performing rookies from the past couple of nights. And there's been a lot of talented rookies here this weekend. As we'll get a few photos down here, and a lot of rookie money as well. $5,000 on the line for the rookie. We talked about $10,000 for the Every Lap Matters, and that was split between the Thursday and Friday guys, the guys that that accumulated the most points between qualifying, heats, and B-Main. So again, those drivers will head back to the pit area. And now let's evaluate. Let's see who has made the call for the 10-minute horn for the top rookie awards. And this first guy actually sent me a text. He said, "Don't forget, I am a rookie. I want whatever money's involved." He's made his way to the stage. So we'll welcome now to the stage Thursday's best performing rookie out of Roebling, Louisiana, Cade Dillard. He picks up $500 as the top performing rookie, fresh off a $100,000 win last weekend. Cade's going to also pick up an extra $500 as the top finishing rookie last night. And Cade, $100,000 a few days ago, $1,000 from your performance back on Thursday. Tonight, though, you go after your first dream. What are your thoughts as you get ready for this show?
It's a pretty cool place. The atmosphere is awesome, and hopefully we can put it in a show. There's a lot of good guys here, and just glad we got to have a good run in the feature of the night, get some seat time, but just thankful to have the opportunity to be here this year.
Race fans, Cade Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana, Thursday's top performing rookie and top finishing rookie. He'll pick up $1,000 in bonus money out of Thursday's program, and he'll head back and get ready for tonight's feature. Coming to the stage next, scheduled to have Ethan Dotson, and we'll see, I don't know if, yep, there's Ethan. Ethan out of Bakersfield, California, the ASD Motorsports entry, and he picks up $300, second most points from Thursday. Ethan, new team, you come to your first dream. Could you have any more challenges in one weekend than trying to gel with a new team and coming against the best in the business at one of the most legendary racetracks?
Not really. I kind of been through to the wolves first 2 times we raced this thing, but now I'm just super grateful to be here and have all them guys with me. They're awesome. John, Tyler, and Reese, and everybody, Jono, for helping me out, and just see what we can do tonight.
You've raced all over the country. How about Eldora? What's it like being here?
There's nothing like this place. It's awesome.
Race fans, how about it? Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California, Thursday's second best performing rookie in this year's rookie competition, and he picks up $300. And we'll bring to the stage next our third best performing rookie from Thursday out of Ocala, Florida, Jackson Heiss. He picks up $200. First time here to the Big E. Well, Jackson, you're trying to race into the main event here tonight. A couple $100 just to be on this Eldora Speedway Victory Lane stage for any award. What does that mean to you so early in your career?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've never even seen this place before this weekend, and then we get to walk up on the stage for the first time. It's pretty cool. So it's a cool thing that Eldora does this for the rookies. It's definitely means something to us. So I appreciate that from Tony and the guys at Eldora.
Race fans, Jackson Heiss, he picks up $200. The Ocala, Florida driver, the driver of the 388, he'll be trying to race into his first dirt late model dream feature in his first attempt. We now move off to the Friday Rookie Awards, and we'll see if we have got Garrett Smith. And looks like Garrett, have we got Garrett yet? Not seeing Garrett making the call right now. So we're going to go ahead and talk to our second best performer, and that's going to be Mr. Ryan Payne. Ryan coming to us out of Pennsboro, West Virginia, the driver of the 12R. Ryan, first time. This place is a little bit different than Tyler County, but I tell you what, you've had speed and you got in this show. How would you rate your performance so far?
I feel like I'm a little twitchy on the wheel, just adjusting to the speed of things here, but every time we hit the track, I'm getting a little more comfortable, a little more dialed in as a driver and as a car, just tweaking on it very little here, but we're pumped to get ready, rolling tonight. I think I'm going to be a little more comfortable on the wheel and push a little harder tonight. We were kind of a little timid yesterday, honestly, and still ended up pretty decent. So.
Making the show here first time, did that exceed your expectations?
Yes and no. I mean, as a driver, every time you hit the track, you're pushing for a win in your mind, but, realistically, being the first time here, yeah, it was definitely a surprise. We were pumped all night.
West Virginia's Ryan Payne, the driver of the 12 car. He picks up, we're going to get a picture real quick, Ryan. Let him grab you a photo there. Yep, we'll get a picture. Your second best performing rookie from Friday. And I believe we'll have Garrett on the back end. We're going to go ahead and bring in Friday's third best performing rookie, North Carolina's Max McLaughlin in car number 22. The 22 star, $200 and 22 star. And Max, there's been a lot of new racetracks this year as you go after the rookie there with the World of Outlaws. Coming here to Eldora, how does that compare to anywhere you've raced in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here with the Big Block Modified a few times and then the NASCAR truck race here a few years ago. So I love the place. Always wanted to run here in a late model, and yeah, it's a difficult place, man. We weren't very good at all yesterday, but we found a few things last night that should make us a whole lot better for today. So it's the most badass racetrack on the planet, if you ask me. So it's pretty cool to be able to run here.
Biggest difference between the big block here and the super late model is what?
Oh my gosh, it's I jumped back in the big block last weekend and I felt like a fish out of water. Just you have to drive so much different, and just the corner speeds. I said yesterday after the heat race, you don't realize how fast these guys, like the pace of the late model stuff is, and there's no other feeling like driving in the corner wide open right on the fence. So I'm looking forward to it again tonight.
Max McLaughlin, he was Friday's third best rookie performer. He'll pick up a couple $100. And our final presentation, we will bring to the stage. He's made his way up. Friday's top rookie performer, the Georgia driver, Garrett Smith. He's going to pick up $1,000, $500 for the overall most points for a rookie and best finish for a rookie. And the Eatonton, Georgia driver, the driver of car number 10, picks it up. Garrett, I'm going to be honest. I went back when I saw you were signed up as a rookie, and I was like, man, he has been here, but only at the World 100. First time to the Dream. You guys have got speed this weekend. What do you look out here as you look at this racetrack tonight? What do you see?
Yeah, I see it's pretty wet. We're in the second heat, so usually when it's kind of wet like this and this fast, it's a little tough to pass, but at least they're 15 laps, and maybe that'll give us enough time to, do something in the heat race and see where we start for tonight.
$1,000, that's some extra money to get up and down the road as well. That's pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool deal. It's pretty cool they do stuff like this, and we always appreciate it.
All right, race fans, Garrett Smith out of Eatonton, Georgia, as he picks up $1,000 as the top performing rookie from Friday. Well, DJ James are starting to put heat in the engines. I'm going to throw it back up top as that wraps up our rookie and our Every Lap Matter awards here tonight.
It's always cool what Eldora does, James, for the
Absolutely.
The high point guys, great, but the rookies especially. And for a few of those guys, the Jackson Heises and Ryan Paynes of the world and things like that, they may not get many opportunities to get some airtime or get on the Eldora stage. Or, take nothing, hold nothing against them, but I think that's cool that they get the airtime and they get a little bit of extra money for their
in the
efforts.
weekend warrior, Ryan Payne is a weekend warrior.
Yeah, he's leading the Tyler County. He's missing the track he's leading the points at tonight to come here and run at Eldora.
I wonder how many races you've done here. You used to be the voice of Eldora and
Yes.
Tyler County. Those are probably your two biggest.
I've probably done more races at those two tracks than anywhere else.
There is
Yes.
a little bit of a difference.
Slightly, yes, slightly. Yeah, you could fit Tyler County in here about 10 times.
But that's all. It's about the Ryan Paynes and let's say the Derek Dahls, the Brandon Waggles, the people like that we'll see here someday, hopefully. And it's just that's pretty cool, and that's good to see somebody like Ryan Payne come in here and do that. And it was 2,000 to start last night, so that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely it is. I was talking to one driver in the pit area that said, you know what, they said, this driver said, if I just make the dream, they said, between making my prelim feature and making the dream, that's $8,000 I've made this weekend. That's outstanding. That's spectacular.
Well, it's a record. The record before this weekend was the IED, the Silver Dollar Nationals. It was 5,300, and I think the world was 5,300, but 6,000 to win a start tonight. Hopefully, maybe someday, 100,000 to win, 10,000 to start.
Oh, my.
Now you're talking.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people out there on the internet that have great ideas on how to make racing great. They can sponsor that and put their money exactly. Hey, we're gonna step aside here as they've wrapped up opening ceremonies from the Eldora Victory Stage. The world famous Eldora push trucks continue making rounds on the Speedway. And before we do that, though, I believe that we are going to bring Miss Savannah and Miss Mallory back to the Eldora Speedway Victory Stage to grab a word with them. Ben, take it away.
That's exactly right, DJ. Join me in welcoming to the Eldora stage Miss Savannah and Miss Mallory, the Miss Eldora representatives. Oh, ladies, as you saw, it's a little chaotic down here trying to get all the drivers. Savannah, I'm going to ask you what I just asked your brother. Are the butterflies still going after last night? How exciting was that? Your family, this place has meant everything to you. How exciting was it to see Devin pull into victory lane?
It was great. I don't know, it's just kind of like unexplainable. It's the best feeling, like the whole family being here, literally all of us, there's like 11 of us, and just like seeing my brothers up top on the media center, kind of pacing back and forth with them. It's just, I don't know, it's just better being together doing it, but I'm just finally proud of him. Get the first win, maybe it's the hardest, and now it'll be better after that. So
we've got a lot of great fans. We may creep on the biggest dream crowd we've ever had. What do you want to say to everybody here tonight, and also where can they find you ladies on social media?
Just thank you all for coming. The campgrounds were great. We went out again today, but just follow along on all the social media platforms at Eldora Speedway. We post all night long, just a little bit of what we're doing. And don't forget, we'll be throwing out some t-shirts again today, so come find us there.
There you go. How about it for Miss Savannah and Miss Mallory, the Miss Eldora representatives? They'll be all around the facility tonight. Check them out on the Eldora Speedway social media channels. Guys, back up top to you.
It's like the Moran family 24 hours here, right? The last day, right? All Moran all the time.
All Moran
right?
all the time. Yes, Eldora Speedway, the Moran era.
We'll do a 30 for 30 on the Morans.
My favorite Roku channel is Price is Right, the Barker era. This is Eldora Speedway, the Moran era. We are 15 minutes away from the start of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will inch closer towards that. We'll take a look at our Dirt Draft lineups. All of that and more on the flip side of this commercial break. We're live here on FloRacing.
Premier Health was first in the region. First emergency room, first ICU. We created the first ambulance in the air. We broke records. We made history. Our 110 years of experience were gained for this one split second.
We're gonna take you to Miami Valley Hospital, okay?
We were granted level 1 trauma verification, the highest level of care for critically injured and sick patients. We treat patients that other hospitals can't. We are the most experienced. Premier Health.
love the sound of someone getting their money's worth. I mean, where else are you going to get like that for 99 cents? Only in Casey's Country. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. For a limited time, get medium fountain drinks for just 99 cents.
It's time to double down. It's time to raise the stakes. And it is time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing.
This is the High Limit Room. It's the home of 24 high rollers.
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, the final night of the Dirt Late Model Dream. James, have you bought a 50-50 ticket yet?
No, but it's $20,492. Right?
It is, yes. I know who won last night, by the way. I talked to the winner.
Can you say, or has it been claimed?
He was debating on driving here and claiming it tonight. I will say that.
You can't say that because a few years ago we got kind of in trouble for saying who it was.
Right, yeah, so I'm not going to say. In full disclosure, I didn't ask this person if I could tell it, but there was a winner last night, $22,000 plus. Right there's the winner's share tonight. It's over $20,000. I would say by the time we get through the heats, I don't know, we're probably going to be in the 40,000 range, 50,000 range. Let's see how high we can get it.
Do we still hold the record?
We do hold the record, I think. But if you were anywhere in the state of Ohio, you're on the grounds or anywhere within the Buckeye State, you can either buy them here on the grounds, or if you're watching at home and you live in Ohio, you can go to Eldora5050.com and buy your tickets.
I know the first two nights were claimed, and you said last night was claimed.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens tonight as we see.
They got 30 days. 30 days to claim
right.
the winning ticket.
Right. So maybe Kai Blight right there will,
yes.
Maybe he'll buy one.
Maybe he will. Well, take a chance.
Even though he lives in Bunbury, Western Australia. He's in Ohio.
He's in Ohio right now. That's right.
Yes.
He's about to jump on the Summer National Store. Hey, speaking of taking a chance and winning something, how about Dirt Draft? Did you set a Dirt Draft lineup tonight on the final night?
Well, if I didn't, you would have set it for me.
How did I do last night? It's funny you say that because right on cue, Tiffany, let's throw the graphic up. I set you a real lineup tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so you go with McDowell, Clanton, Herb, Tyler, Bronson, and Stormy Scott in your top 5.
Those are my 5.
And
yes,
then Jamie Little Essex goes with O'Neill, Marler, Bloomquist, Ivy, Blair.
Yeah, I think it's a good lineup for you.
Thank you.
I think it's a good lineup.
I had good money on John Gill last night. I know you put John Gill on there.
Yes.
He was doing pretty good there for a while.
He was running well for a while.
He was a high dollar last night.
He was, I know. I think it's a good lineup. Turn, what do you think? It's a good lineup for James there. He's got
Thank you.
He's got
Z. Well, I'll just leave it up to you every race to pick something like this. Is awesome.
It's a good thing I know your password. The Dirt Draft.
Coondog Academy.
Coondog Academy 2024.
And we'd like to welcome Ricky Weiss has got a new sponsor, Galloping Ghost.
Galloping Ghost Motorsports, yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. That was Anthony Burroughs right there, wasn't it?
That was Anthony.
Tiffany, that was Anthony Burroughs.
Crew
chief for Ricky Thornton.
It was
Jr.
Anthony. There's Tim McCready.
There's Tim McCready, took over the Rocket House car back in March. How about this in Heat 5, Row 2?
Yes.
The last 2 Rocket House car drivers are going to go side by side. Hudson O'Neill, who won the World 100 in the Lucas Oil Series in the Rocket 1, starts 3rd. Starting 4th is Brandon Shepard, who won the Dream here in 2019. How about that?
Can't script
side by side.
There's Dennis Erb Jr. Yep. He's a former Dirt Late Model Dream winner, and he's going to lead this first session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps out on the racetrack. He's out of Carpentersville, Illinois in the 28, and he'll be followed by the current leader in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year standings for the Lucas Oil Series. Out of Jupiter, Florida, the 6 is going to be Clay Harris.
Again, these are Heat 1 cars, and they'll get their chance for hot laps. There's the 20 TC. He is currently 5th in the World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year chase, the Gibson Motorsports, Keg Nozzles entry. That is Tristan Chamberlain. Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana.
Yeah, that Wade Gibson racing entry.
And behind him, 3-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner. Let's see, what was it? He won, was it 300? Was it over $400,000 within a year?
That was a lot. It was
$300,000 in one weekend.
A little more than I'm getting for this.
And the Wells Motorsports 76 car, the Infinity by Wells Easy Go. That is Brandon Overton.
There's the 20 RT. Ricky Thornton Jr. seeking his first Eldora Speedway Crown Jewel win in that SSI Motorsports 20 RT. He comes into the event the leader of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Jewel win in that SSI Motorsports 20 RT. He comes into the event the leader of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings, and behind him in the 111, he's looking to make this race for the very first time, James, as he comes into the event 12th in the Lucas Oil point standings. 2 wins on the year for Centerville, Pennsylvania's Max Blair, and that Brad Spochaz Centerline Motorsports 111.
11th to 5th here on Thursday night. He has been sneaky good. He's only been coming here, a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Dale McDowell and Earl Pearson Jr. when they run that bottom.
Yeah.
And Max was good here the other night, and he's been good over the last couple of months.
And we're going to see him at the Firecracker in 2 weeks. He's got a special. He showed me down in the pit. He's got a special wrap. He's going to unveil.
He's going to be doing both the Lucas Oil Series and the Rush.
Yes, and the Caleb McManus owned entry. Yeah.
Yep. And there's the 17D car. That is Zach Dome. Well, Tim Dome's son.
Tim's son. Yep.
ZNT, Zach, Nick, and Tim.
That's
Man,
right.
at heartbreak last night in the B Maid. He had the last transfer spot, got behind a lap car, and Jason Jameson got him at the line. But Zach Dome in that. Dome Cycle Sales car. There's the 19R. He's had a pretty good year, that Infinity by Wells entry.
He has, absolutely has. That's going to be the Reaper Ryan Gustin. He's a 4-time winner this year out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the 33-year-old. And the Todd Cooney Racing 19R. You mentioned the 76 of Brandon Overton on the Speedway. The 5 out on the racetrack is going to be the Magic Man. That's Mark Whitener out of Middleburg, Florida. And that Ocala Restaurant Supply entry. Already 8 wins this year for the veteran driver out of Ocala, Florida in the 5. That is Mark Whitener.
Todd Cooney's the original coon dog.
He is the original coon dog, yes. There's the 22, one other driver on the track, Daniel Hilsebeck out of Earlham, Iowa in the 22 on the Speedway.
Cole Perrine here on the front stretch.
Cole Perrine on the front stretch. The 12 on your screen. The MGL Aldous Hills James Ratliff Racing entry. That is Jason Jameson. He's the one that got around Zach Dome at that final transfer spot last night. And you mentioned Cole Perrine as well. The 58 of Garrett Alberson on the Speedway. Alberson has been quietly putting together a pretty solid year this year. The driver that Ken and Beth Roberts Racing number 58, a two-time winner on the year, is the 35-year-old Garrett Alberson. There's Cole Perrine in the C8 out of Lowell, Ohio. He has a win at Tyler County a little earlier on this season.
I do not see Kyle Bryant, the Navarre, Florida driver. Is Mike Hildebrand out there out of Loveland, Ohio? Billy Denby.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
Out of Tullahoma, Tennessee, scheduled to go out there. But Daniel Hilsebeck, 20.843. Hilsebeck right now is 4th in the World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year chase. How about that MLRA race last night?
I haven't got to watch the highlights. I heard it was a great
Dylan
race from
McCowan,
Callaway.
I believe, final lap, got around Earl Pearson Jr. And then you had Tyler Emery winning the Appalachian Mountain Speedway at Clinton County.
Last lap on Drake Troutman. Yeah, 2 outstanding races last night on Flow. And if you missed those, or if you were here and didn't get to see, you can go back and watch the full replays or the cut-up version, the highlights on Flow Racing. I got to do that. I've heard from, I had like 5 texts this morning, woke up to, that Callaway was a potential early race of the year candidate with MLRA last night.
We got done so early, 9:54.
I got to watch the features from Marshalltown last night. It was done so early. Joel Rust getting the win in Topless IMCA Modifieds last night.
You can't beat that, can you?
That's right. That's exactly right. It's David McCoy behind the wheel of that Brett Coltman Farms Racing 187. As we are going to roll the next group of drivers on the Speedway, and they're going to be led out by one of the top rookies that Ben Shelton talked to earlier on this evening out of Ocala, Florida. It's going to be Jackson Heiss in the Sean Monahan wrenched 388. He'll be followed by the driver of the 22. Let's see, which 22 is this? This is going to be the 22 star of G.R. Smith. Yeah, and they put a little yell in the bottom of the numbers and put a
thank you for that.
GR. Yes, thank you, G.R. Smith, the WVU grad, and that Gambler Transport Motorsports 22 star.
I like how you slipped that in there. He's originally got a New Jersey, right?
He is from New Jersey. Yes, he is.
The University of, West Virginia University. Graduated with Rich Rodriguez. I don't know about that.
I don't think
Stevie Norris, crew chief, and on the 48 for Tim Lance, the Digital Copy Systems entry. Out of Brimfield, Illinois. Boy, he had a couple of good runs in this heat in B main. Couldn't quite get into the A main tonight. We'll see what he does. He will start here in this heat race here later on in 9th. How about Tanner English? He's in the Brett Coltman 96. Out of Benton, Kentucky, there's Devin Moran, last night's winner, the Big River Steel, Lazy Days RV, C&W Trucking for Roger Sellers, Double Down Motorsports. Well, Roger Sellers, Casey's here, Robbie's here.
The whole family.
Looking good next weekend, Smoky Mountain. Highs in the upper 80s, no rain.
Let's go.
Maryville, Tennessee, next Saturday night. Lucas Oil live right here on Flow, Friday and Saturday.
There's the 18 out of Mowicko, Illinois. Shannon Babb, 3rd in 1998. His best finish in this event. Started the race 19 times as the 4-time Summer Nationals champ. Shannon Babb in the 18. And then it's going to be Tanner English in the 96 behind him. Another one of those Coltman Farms entries. The Special Needs School of Gwinnett. Again, about 2 weeks ago, it was announced that Brett Coltman from Coltman Farms had donated $1 million to the Special Needs Schools of Gwinnett. That is absolutely outstanding. Brett Coltman, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything you do for racing.
And also out on the track, there's it's Fergie time. Chris Ferguson in that Longhorn Clements powered entry. Spartan Mechanical entry out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. By the way, Jensen Ford is out there.
Yes, he is.
In the 83 car, the TNT chassis. We thought his weekend was done. He's heading into turn number 1 right now. There's the Molly Pistons 97. Cody Overton, currently 2nd in the World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year chase. Driving for Dave Stein. Talon Center crewing on that car. As we go with hot laps, this will be heat number 2 here in a little bit. There's Jensen Ford.
That is Jensen Ford.
We thought his weekend was over,
We thought it was, and I think he did as well, as he and John Minot and that team got that TNT race car put back together. Since still, they don't believe. They know the clip's been on that thing, but they got it back together. And there's the only Category 5 race car in the field. That is Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces. See Valley Transportation Range at Log Road 2S. Ben, down to you.
Yeah, Randy, I wanted to talk to you right now. You're in Heat 1. We're about halfway through hot laps here tonight. When you look at this racetrack, if you're in that first heat race, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, that hot laps absolutely was a waste for those guys. It just basically they got to go off their notebooks. That first heat is going to be wide open. It was so slimy. I was looking; it was a little over 5 seconds off the base. So you know, they're just looking at notes, getting everything ready, making sure nothing crazy is going on, and they ain't even worried about that hot lap session.
How much of a disadvantage if you're starting on the outside row for that first heat could it be right now?
Well, unless these remaining hot lap sessions really works that up, you're going to be in trouble.
All right, guys, Dirt Draft Hot Laps continues here tonight at the Big E.
And again, Scott Bloomquist, who's scheduled to pull in heat number 2, did not come out for hot laps. Doesn't surprise you, though, does it? Kinda, really.
No,
right?
actually,
not
it
at all.
doesn't. Nothing out of that camp surprises me anymore.
If he wins this heat race tonight,
the Heat 3 drivers, the Heat 3 drivers are making their way out on the Speedway. James, go ahead and tell us who's making their way.
Well, the driver set on the
this
pole
group.
for the Dream of the World last year, the 25C, the Green Lane entry, 25Z. That is Mason Ziegler. Mason Ziegler out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. Here, and these are third heat cars tonight. There's the 44 car looking for his first crown jewel victory here at Eldora. The Dryden Franklin Enterprises entry out of Gray Court, South Carolina. That is Chris Madden. Chris Madden in 44, currently fourth in the World of Outlaw Series points. His last full year of competition. Going to part-time next year. There's the 93 car, the Paylor Motorsports entry. Coleman Farms, Hoopaw grading. That is Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson currently fifth in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase in the Lucas Oil Series. There's the World of Outlaws points leader in the NOS Energy Drink entry for a Ty Torrig. That is Nick Hoffman. Nick Hoffman in the 9 car out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Dustin.
We do have one house announcement to make. Randy Maggard. Randy Maggard, you need to make your way to the sheriff's station just off of turn number 4. They have something that belongs to you. Randy Maggard. Randy Maggard, you need to make your way to the sheriff's station off turn 4. They have something of yours. James, go ahead.
Hope it's not the black cat. It's back.
No, the black cat was found.
Whatever happened
with the green collar. That's right. There's the 17 M Mac Daddy Dale McDowell. He's going to start 4th in this third heat race tonight in that Shane McDowell Racing 17. And there's the other 17, Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida, the second generation driver. He's currently thrown his hat in the mix for Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year. He is third. I had that in my notes. I hadn't quite got there yet. The 18-year-old.
Yep.
And you got the 2X, one of the ASD Racing entries. That's going to be driven by John Henderson out of North Augusta, South Carolina. And that Barry Wright Icon.
5 in out there. There's 31 Millwood Plumbing entry. That'll be Tyler Millwood DJ out of Kingston, Georgia. Dustin Nobby out there, and his dad Ted Nobby's Rocket. Nobby Mower Shop entry out of Batesville, Indiana. There's the 10 car hunt, the front, the Kubota entry. That is Joseph Joyner. Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida, currently 5th in the hunt, the front points. I assume Austin Smith is out there, right? Maybe. Austin Smith scheduled to start inside row 4. Bobby Pierce in 32. There he is on the front straightaway right there. Out of Oakwood, Illinois. So Dale McDowell right now the fastest overall here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps right now at 16.221 as we're through 3 heat race hot lap sessions. There's the 11 of Austin Smith. Before that was Jamie Elam, the 12 car. First time here in, I think he said 16 years out of Senatobia, Mississippi.
So you saw SCCS Solutions on that race car. That is Shane Clanton, Chad Smith, as Ben Shelton was telling me earlier. I did not know that. Ben suggested that Jonathan Davenport and I should collaborate together and DJ JD something.
Very excited what you guys can do for that. Yeah, they actually teamed up to buy Capital Race Cars with SCCS Solutions. And DJ, what you and JD could team up for, well, he's gonna bring 5 World 100s, 2 Dreams, a million, and a lot of other stuff to the table. So you just got to figure out what you're bringing. Maybe all the funding for it.
DJ, yes, exactly. DJ JD hunting camps. How's that?
Well, you've already put your money in 6 and Logistics Trucking Company LLC.
That is true. Our driver Chris Simpson was in that MLRA race.
He led for a while last night, did he not? Yeah.
Ben, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's really cool, James. You talked about Callaway, and that's a place that's been up there in Missouri for a long time. I think up there, Fulton, Missouri. It's cool to see new tracks kind of pop up on the dirt late model scene. So kudos to Ernie Leftwich and the gang, and kudos to Dylan McCowan for the win last night. Really cool to see new tracks, and McCowan is another up-and-coming driver. We just got to get him to Eldora come September.
Yeah, how about the car counts at Appalachian Mountain Speedway for Jim Burnhouse? They had 40 cars last night.
They had 40.
Tyler Emery passing Travis, as we mentioned on the last lap, and they had over 30
at 32
in the MLRA race. Yeah.
32, that's
very
good.
nice.
That's cool.
That rained out
Absolutely.
tonight, unfortunately.
It was supposed to be at Springfield.
By the way, Trevor Gundaker watching.
Oh, T-Rev.
Yeah, they're still trying to commit. They're still trying to finish that pit stop at Wheeling. Holy cow.
That was a great moment in time.
Man. Chocolate Myers he was rolling his eyes on that one.
Hey guys, how about this crowd here tonight? Really nice crowd here. And you know, DJ, I know you got here probably a little bit before we did today. I know that you always can gauge it by how quick that front lot is filling up. And I got here and it was probably more than, a third fuller than normal when you get here about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's always a telltale sign of how it's going to be. That and walking through the vendors area, James. I spent a little bit of time this afternoon on Vendors Row trying to say hey to all the folks down there that I possibly could. And you usually get a feel for how many folks are down there. And I tell you what, for Saturday of the Dream, it kind of felt like a Saturday of the World crowd, to be honest with you. Dream usually usually a really good crowd, not quite as big as the World, just a tick under. But it really felt like a very, very big crowd from what I saw down in Vendors Row.
The enthusiasm, I don't know if it's because of the weather, the enthusiasm, people coming up to talk to us, and it's just awesome. And I talked to a couple down here outside of Turn 4. First time here at Eldora, but guess where they live? Chillicothe, Ohio. You think, you're 2 hours away. Never been here, and they're coming to see us at Portsmouth in a few weeks. They've never been to Portsmouth Raceway.
What? Wait,
seriously, they live in Chillicothe. I don't know how that happens, but Chuck Greenslate's here, and he said hi.
Oh, Chuck Greenslate. I saw Chuck at a high school basketball game.
He's a 46-year-old welder from Ironton with
Chuck
3 alpacas, 2 donkeys, and a cat.
It sounds like Michael Rigsby's neighbors. That is.
We love Chuck. Chuck is one of the best.
Chuck is awesome. Yes, he is.
And we
Chuck,
look forward to seeing him.
Glad you're here.
Yep.
And, he's going to be working with you at Portsmouth in a couple weeks. And,
Brady Cup next week.
Brady Cup next week. Chuck will be with you at Portsmouth in a few weeks. I'm going to join you the following night at the Moran Family House of Power. And there's Ashton Winger, and he will be back on the Summer Nationals Tour in 2024, the defending champ of that series.
Gary and Lynn's son.
Yes, it is.
You see that look on his face? Oh, Tiffany, we don't talk about that, Tiffany. There's the 74X car, the SRI Performance. That is Ethan Dotson. That's what he was thinking right there. I don't know. I still don't have his
Producer
tattoo.
Tiffany was asking about for those of you at home, asking about the Angry Elephant tattoo.
Well, I still got one more
piercing.
shot there because we go back to East Bay in the grand finale in October, so I still have a shot.
No, it's not a shot, man. You lost a bet. You have to do it. We'll make it happen. Don't worry.
You get the nose ring. You get like the bull ring right between the nostrils. That'd be great.
Just in time for Tyler County. Yes.
Bull ring. There's Josh Rice in the chain locker number 11 for Rick Jones out of Verona, Kentucky. He was third here on Thursday night. There's the 3S, the Team Zero Bloomquist car for Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, the Thomason Express entry, as you see Rice going by him. We're on it. We are on it. Hey, all of the crew, thank you very much.
Everyone's been awesome. Here's Hayden Cowan. He's out of the Rum Runner Racing ride and behind the wheel of his own number 14. He's got a win at Swainsboro and a Road Warrior, the 19-year-old out of Rincon, Georgia. Other drivers on the track in this session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps include... see who's behind the 14. I got the one of there's the one of Tyler Erb in that Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors Best Performance Motorsports entry. I also saw the yellow number 1 of Devin Gilpin, the Columbus, Indiana driver, and he just lost something. He just lost a tire. Right on cue, the left front goes off the 1G of Devin Gilpin.
Great work by Cameron.
And somewhere a crew guy is leaving the facility. Man, luckily he did not get fully up to speed. Randy Weaver, talk about the get-out-of-jail-free card that Gilpin just got by that happening before he was full bore off into the corner.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling at any speed. I was actually leading a race at Crossville one time, and the only thing past me was my left rear wheel. So after that crash ended, I went ahead and walked to the truck and went home.
Yeah, on the FloRacing replay.
I love it.
Here in Hot Laps. Gilpin, who was the last entrant here of the weekend, the 101st entrant here yesterday, started 18th in the feature, finished in 10th. The 2018 Eldora track champion.
I noticed he wasn't coming up to speed quite as well. There he tried to, and there it went.
No lug nuts, I would guess, right? I mean, he didn't break off, it doesn't look like, right? So,
well, there's no
fortunately for him, you're not going 100 and some mile an hour down the straightaway, right, Destin?
That's right. That's exactly. It could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse.
How about Mikey Myler's car? You like that?
I do like that. I do like that.
The Olsen Explosives, 157, looking for his first crown jewel win here at Eldora. The only driver to win 3 times at the Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals is Mikey Marler. Mike Provenzano, Marcel's, Illinois. Son of the Hall of Famer, little John Provenzano.
That's right.
Let's see.
It's A.K. Austin Kirkpatrick. Yep. The Barbarino's Pizza, Race Engines, and Asian Spot is on there. The Asian Spot. No, the Asian Spot been in operation. I talked to Austin Kirkpatrick. They have their own logo. Barbarino's has been in operation since 1969. 69.
That's a long time.
For Barbarino's, yes. I had a good conversation with Austin Kirkpatrick down there. But Ethan Dodson checking in at a 15893.
Yeah, Ben interviewed him, and that's interesting because he debuted in this car at the Show Me 100, and then you come to the Dirt Late Model Dream. There is Kate Dillard, quickest right now over on here in Hot Leader Draft Hot Laps, 15880, the Roboline, Louisiana, the S&S Fishing and Rentals entry.
Could he get $200,000 in 2 weeks?
Sure.
I mean, he won the big modified show at the Bob Tim and Tyrone Lingenfelder promoted Mississippi Thunder Speedway last weekend. That was good for $100,000.
You see Christian Hanger. That was not Clint Keenan, but it was Christian Hanger right there.
The Miami Vice paint scheme.
The Miami Vice paint scheme.
Christian Hanger, yeah. It's got the fluorescent colors, got the palm trees.
Was it that Crockett and Tubbs?
No,
Don Johnson and
Miami Vice.
Okay. Not Ace Ventura, Pet Detective with
no.
Or Dan Burrito's isotoners we got thrown in there.
Not the Flying Hawaiian Shane Yoder either.
Miss him. The Jeff Matthews Motorsports car, Ashton Winger, the 12 car out of Hampton, Georgia. He'll be on the pole of Heat 5. There you see Dalton Wilson down there, the final winner of the East Bay Winter Nationals back in February. He'll be back there in October. Viva Las Vegas, right?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Move over Wayne Newton. Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. There's Shane Glenn. What a run the other night. That was only his 6th race of the year. 19th to 6th here on Thursday night for Shane Glenn. And he won the Dirt Late Model Dream back in 2012 for Ronnie Dobbins.
Yes, he did. There's Seth Daniels, who is quietly becoming a pretty good little late model driver here in that Daniels Racing number 21. He got his first career super late model win last year at the Skyline Speedway. Ricky Weiss beside him in that Galloping Ghost Motorsports driving performance number 7. As we get ready to roll out the drivers in heat race number 5 for their session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, there is the 18D of Dalton Wilson and that James Ratliff Racing entry. He comes into this event 8th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. Behind him, the driver that picked up the 2024 Spring Nationals Championship, so he's now a 3-time and reigning Spring Nationals champ. In that Billy Hicks Racing double nickel number 79, that is going to be Dawsonville, Georgia's D-Mac Donald McIntosh.
Gullett and Tunkett are here, right? I believe they are.
Gullett's here for sure. I saw him. I've not seen
Tunkett's got to be somewhere.
Well, Stone Cold Tunkett down there.
Yeah. There's the Coleman Farms Valvoline B5. The Shepherd Riggs Racing entry, 3rd here last night. That is Brandon Shepherd, the winner here in 2019 of the Dirt Late Model Dream. And behind him, the reigning World 100 winner in the Lionel. Lionel, right?
Lionel, yes.
Rumley Racing, K&L Rumley Racing, that is Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. Again, 15th to 2nd here on Thursday night. And there's the son of a former Dirt Late Model Dream winner right there.
Yeah, that's Sammy Mars in the 2080s out of Menominee, Wisconsin. Of course, his dad, Jimmy, won the 1997 Dirt Late Model Dream. Jimmy, a 12-time Dream starter. Sam trying to make his first ever start in this prestigious race. And right behind him is going to be the driver of the number 99. That is Paducah, Kentucky's Dylan Thompson. Dylan Thompson, a winner last year with the Summer Nationals at Tri-State Speedway. Only raced about a dozen times last year, and there's Spence, James.
You're back to calling him that? Does he allow you to call him that?
I call
Spencer Hughes in the JCM Motorsports car. That team based in Birmingham, Alabama. The Clyburn Tank Lines, Link Construction entry. There's the 29, the Brickworks entry. Christian Hanger, Winchester, Tennessee.
I'm telling you, Miami
is
nice.
Hometown. All right.
I like it. There's the Sean and Lisa Martin. Right? Yes, that's right. The Viper's Management 36P. It's a BMF, not a BFE as you called it last year. The BMF race car of Corey Hedgecock. And there's the Danny Hatcher owned number 6 of the Rooster, Dustin Linville, former Battle of the Bluegrass Modified Series champion. There's Casey Noonan out of Sylvania, Ohio, in the Noonan's Performance Machining number 1. He's a 44-year-old driver. He's in the number 1, and there's the rookie, the 16-year-old.
Are you kidding me again?
Yep, of Alan Stick of Americus, Georgia.
15.673.
He was quickest.
He was quickest.
I love that.
Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia.
Hey, Alan Stick, put her in the show for me, buddy. You put her in the show.
Well, he started on the front row last night of a heat race.
I'll tell you what, right here on the air, guys, you heard it right here. If Alan Stick puts it in the show tonight, I'll give him $100 out of my wallet.
$1,000. I heard it.
No,
so they put a new motor in that race car today. They had to change after last night, and also talking to them, they're trying to go full bore super late model racing. He did finish second down there at East Alabama Motor Speedway to Brandon Overton earlier this year. Second to Overton's like a win down that way, and they got a new bullet under the hood. Just felt like the other one didn't have quite enough power.
Hey, real quick, guys. Speaking front row of a heat race, I got T-Mac, Tim McCready. Timmy, you roll off in Heat 1. They were talking about this racetrack. What are your feelings?
It's really, really watered up tonight and wet and a little narrow. So, hopefully throughout the night it'll widen out and produce some decent racing. We can put this Valvoline Rocket 1 up front.
Hey, do you think that if you win, you start 6th, but if you get second, you start 7th? Does that come into play?
Yeah, I mean, even if you running thirds is upwards of half the field also. So it's always been about getting in the show and figuring your balance out for the feature. You gotta do your job early, and so you're gonna be there to try to do it later. So like I said, I just want to thank Rocket, XR1, everybody behind us, Mark and Steve, and we'll try to do my best out there to make this car look like it always looks.
Track continues to get faster and faster. Some views from T-Mac, Timmy McCready.
All right, the last time that car was on the track, it won the Lucas Oil Championship with O'Neill, won the World 100. There's Max McLaughlin, DJ, currently 3rd in the World of Outlaw Series points, the Gambler Transport entry.
3rd in the rookie points. Not 3rd in the overall
Third
points.
in the rookie points, yes, my bad.
Not the overall points.
Out of Mooresville, North Carolina. And there's the 21. What more can we say? 852 wins. Passed 2 cars in the final, lap and a half last night.
Yes.
In the Infinity Bay Wells, Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas, the only 6-time World 100 winner, twice a winner in the dirt late model dream.
KB40 out of Brandon, Florida. That's
a
going to
really
be
good race car, Dustin. Really good race car. Tanner does a really good job. This Longhorn's fast. It's good.
It's Kyle Bronson right here beside me in the booth. There's the 28 out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Led laps in the Dirt Track World Championship last year. Lady Luck dealt him just a terrible hand here on Thursday night. That's Tyler Carpenter out of Parkersburg, West Virginia in that entry. You just saw his dad, Freddie Carpenter, in the C4 just behind him, also on the racetrack. A few other drivers on the track. These are the drivers in heat race number 6. There's the 7 of Ricky Weiss. We mentioned Galloping Ghost Motorsports now on the side of that Derek Sandblasting Sniper chassis. There's the Tumbling Dice 25, the defending Mars Series champion, defending UMP National champion Jason Fager, Fast Freddie Carpenter, and the ProTech Auto Sales Kryptonite C4 among the drivers in heat race number 6.
There's the Nutrien Solutions 49 of Jonathan Davenport. 2-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner, 5-time World 100 winner. Kyle Bronson right now looking for his first crown jewel victory at Eldora. His biggest win was at I-80, the Silver Dollar Nationals a few years ago, 53K, 15.369. And Ben Shelton had a question. I saw it this week, and I had to remind myself. And there's a lot of drivers here that won 6-figure payout, but Tim McCready's not one of them. He has never won $100,000 to win a more win race.
No, he's gotten $50,000. He's gone $53,000, and tonight trying to go 100 on the board. And really, when you start talking about guys that have done 6 figures, it's not a very big group. So, and to do it here at Eldora, $100,000. $30 on the line. Guys, how about not just that? $6,000 to start here tonight. That's almost $1,000 more than last year and over $600,000 in purse money throughout the weekend. It doesn't even include Wednesday's show that Mother Nature took away from us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Really, really cool to see Eldora stepping up to the plate here. Well, that is a wrap on Dirt Draft Hot Laps here this evening. As Coming up next on the agenda will be opening ceremonies this evening. That is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. local time. So we've got just about 13 minutes before that. If you're here on the grounds, just a few housekeeping items. Don't forget that the Eldora concession stands are open. Really good food at the Eldora concession stand. Support them. Also, several outside food vendors here as well. We're happy to have them here. Make sure you thank them and support those folks as well. The Eldora bars are open. Stop down and see Sam and Ted and Jeff and the gang at the Eldora bar. Don't forget to tip your bartender as well. Vendors Row, your final opportunity right here, right now today to visit Vendors Row towards turn 1, as well as the fan zone area at the top of turns 3 and 4. And James, last but not least, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the Eldora Speedway 50-50 winner's share. You can see it in the lower right-hand part of the video board. The winner's share of tonight's 50-50 is up over $27,000. We may creep on 50 grand for the winner's share here tonight. Get them early, get them often. You can buy 50-50 tickets anywhere in the state of Ohio. Just go to Eldora5050.com. That's Eldora5050.com. Take home a big chunk of money. Again, that's not the whole pot. That is your half in the lower right-hand portion of the video board, up over $27,000. It's your final opportunity.
Put the arrow up there so we can.
You see where it is. That's right. That's
awesome.
Exactly right.
Thank you very much.
You're here on the grounds. Your last opportunity to stand up and stretch your legs. If you're watching at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the opening ceremonies. You're watching the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream, and you're watching it all live right here on FloRacing. Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winners Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Poske.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's gotta be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
There's no one way to power up, as long as Ford is your starting line. Because more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it. Gas, hybrid, or all electric, the power is yours.
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway for the 30th running of the Dirt Late Model Dream as we get set for opening ceremonies. Just a little update from Hot Laps. One driver that did not make the call for Hot Laps was Scott Bloomquist, scheduled to start on the front row. The pole position of heat race number 2. Crew members said a slight vibration was felt. They decided to not go out, so we'll see what happens on the Zero machine on screen, as you can see there. Hopefully everything's all right, and they made the adjustments, but wouldn't be Eldora Speedway without a little drama in the Zero. He doesn't make it out for Hot Laps, but he's ready to go for heat race number 2, guys.
Well, you read my mind. I was going to say the same thing. It would not be Eldora if there was not a little bit of drama with the Zero. Another driver that did not, I don't think, made it out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps, I see a Kyle Bryant in that blue 79 down there, James. He is scheduled to start near the tail of the field in this first Eibach Springs heat race. As the cars begin to make their way to the A&A Manufacturing staging lane down there, 15 laps will be the distance in each of the 6 qualifying heat races tonight. 6 heats, that'll give us 18 cars. The 19th and 20th spots are reserved for the 2 high point drivers that did not make it into the balance of the field. Will be made up by the drivers transferring out of the B mains. We are just about 4 minutes away from opening ceremonies on the Eldora Victory Stage. We'll step aside for one final time. Coming up next, opening ceremonies here at Eldora. It's the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream, and it's live right here on FloRacing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What a crowd here at the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora Speedway. We are just outside the big booming metropolis of Rossburg, Ohio. Those of you here on the grounds, don't forget you just saw it on the video board, the post-race traffic plan, as that will help us help you get out of here quicker than or as quickly and efficiently as possible, and also as safely as possible as well.
31,292 50-50 update. I love it.
I love it.
Is that Mason Ziegler? Has he bought a ticket?
Well, I don't know.
He said on the poll last year, the dream of the world. He's got some work to do here tonight. Had some problems last night, but we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, he
always
is,
a tough runner here at Eldora.
Yes, he is. He is going to roll from close to the back of his heat race here, just a little bit later on this evening. As we inch ever so close to opening ceremonies here tonight, of course, got a few special things planned as always. 101 entries here this evening, and a record $600,000 purse. And with that in mind, it is time to officially get underway with opening ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Big E, we'll send it down to the Eldora Victory Stage to our very own Ben Shelton.
Thank you very much, Dustin. As we come here tonight for the third and final night of the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream, we're so honored, we're so excited to be here tonight, but the reality is we also have very, very heavy hearts. A week ago this past Tuesday, the GM of Eldora Speedway, Jerry Gappens Jr., suddenly passed away, and he left a big hole, not only in the Eldora Speedway family, not only in the racing family, but in the world. Jerry was a larger-than-life personality. His smile was infectious, and man, there's just not words to describe the pain that everybody's feeling. And to come here and celebrate him, he loved this racetrack. He poured everything he had into it. Tonight, his beautiful wife, Cheryl, is here with us, his mom, his sister. And before we go any further, they're here. They can hear you, Eldora Speedway. Could you please give a round of applause to the Gappens family and let them know you're thinking about them here tonight? With that said, Jerry had a favorite song, favorite hymn, and it was How Great Thou Art. And to sing that here tonight, coming to us out of the great state of Mississippi, Miss Chris Lee.
O Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou
Thank you so much, Chris. Race fans, if you're not already and you are able, please rise now for tonight's invocation and our Star Spangled Banner. First, our opening prayer with Dirt Racing Outreach's Mr. Russ Ward.
Thank you so much. If you could join me in a word of prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, God, tonight I offer up a prayer of thanksgiving. Lord, I'm thankful for the life of Jerry Gappens. Thankful for the time that we had with Jerry here on this earth, Lord. We thank you, God, that you have shared his life with us. God, we thank you for the impact that he has made to everybody he's come in contact with, Lord. He was a great father. He was a great husband, a great leader. Lord, he impacted everybody he knew. He was a great mentor and exceeded in excellence in all that he done. But God, most of all, I know he was a servant of the King. And God, I know his heart's desire was for everybody to know Jesus. And God, I just thank you, Lord, that Jerry lived that legacy and he never backed down on wanting people to know his Lord and Savior. And God, we thank you for that precious time that we had with Jerry on this earth, but we know we'll see him again. And Father, we just thank you, we praise you, we glorify you, and we honor him tonight. Amen.
Thank you, Russ. And with tonight's invocation, track chaplain Mike Unger.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for another beautiful evening you've given us here at the track. We thank you for Jerry and his desires for this place, Lord. And Lord, I especially thank you for all the first responders and the soldiers and the men and women who have fought to give us the freedom to be here tonight doing what we all love to do, Lord. And Lord, I just ask for safety over everybody as they leave here tonight and on their way home. And thank you and give you all the glory for what we have. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mike. An absolutely gorgeous crowd here tonight at Eldora Speedway. We're definitely one big family, and we're so thankful you're here tonight, and we hope that you'll help us in uplifting the Gappens family again as they get through such a terrible time. We now ask you, if you're able to please continue standing. Tonight's Star-Spangled Banner coming to us from Georgia, Miss Brooke Davis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Race fans, how about it for Brooke Davis and tonight's Star-Spangled Banner? Well, race fans, the cars are getting cranked up. I want to know, turns 1 and 2, are you ready? Turns 3 and 4, are you ready? Front straightaway, are you ready? Everyone, are you ready to race here tonight? Oh, TJ and James, the fire's going off. The adrenaline, you can cut it with a knife down here. Heat 1, take it away, guys.
Oh, man. There's nothing like the opening ceremonies here at the Big E. James, we've got the first of 6 heat races making its way onto the track. This will be Ibach Springs heat race number 1, 15 laps. Top 3 transfer. They are vying for starting positions 6, 7, and 13 in tonight's main event.
3-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner Brandon Overton. He's on the pole in the 76 out of Evans, Georgia. And on the outside, the Rocket 1, two-time Lucas Oil champion. It'll be Tim McCready out of Watertown, New York.
Row 2 on the inside. He was good here on Thursday night. Out of Centerville, Pennsylvania, 111 is Max Blair on his outside. The 20 RT, originally from Chandler, Arizona, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Garrett Albertson looking for his biggest win of his career, the 58th of Roberts Racing entry out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and alongside the 2016 Dirt Late Model Dream winner out of Carpentersville, Illinois, it's Dennis Erb Jr.
Row 4 on the inside of the Todd Cooney Racing 19R. It'll be the Reaper Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa. And on his outside, out of Cross Lanes, West Virginia, the 17D is Zach Doan.
Starting 9th, it'll be former Florence track champion Jason Jameis in the final car in the show here last night. He's at the Ratliff entry out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And Daniel Hilsebeck, the 22H, he is out of Earlham, Iowa.
We move back then to row number 6. You just saw Mark Whitener in the 5. He's from Middleburg, Florida. And tricky Tristan Chamberlain, the second-generation driver out of Richmond, Indiana.
Clay Harris, first time at Eldora, the top rookie in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series out of Jupiter, Florida. And Cole Perrine in the C8 out of Lowell, Ohio.
And your final 3 starters, Loveland, Ohio's Mike Hildebrand in the 39, Kyle Bryant from Navarre, Florida in the 79, and Billy Denby out of Tullahoma, Tennessee in the 45. James, in all 17 drivers set to go 15 laps. Again, the top 3 transfer. 4 through 11 go to one of 2 B mains. The top 3, again, they're vying for starting spots 6, 7, and 13 in tonight's main event. The winner of this one will roll from the 6th starting spot in the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream, James. It's Brandon Overton on the pole, Tim McCready on the outside. Eldora Speedway, the first official Dirt Late Model Dream heat race is underway.
At the Eldora start zone, and Brandon Overton's going to grab the lead in that Wells and Sons Motorsports Infinity by Wells 76. Thornton to the outside of McCready, and Thornton pushes up the track. Remember, Thornton, if he does not run in the top 3, he would be the first provisional tonight because he's the top point man from this week, and he's got off to a rough start in the 20 RT, Dustin.
Yeah, he is. That's battle for the transfer spot there on your screen. Oh, and Daniel Hilsebeck with trouble in the 22. Look like he has a flat tire. They did get a lap in the books. And Daniel Hilsebeck out of Earlham, Iowa with trouble on the 22, and that will bring out the XS Power caution for the first time here tonight.
So out in front will be Overton. Again, this is at Eldora. If you've not been here before and not watched before, it's double file throughout each and every race.
Flat left front tire, guys. Came off the bead. Flat left front tire for Hilsebeck.
So double file till the end, and again, the only pound per lap burn off is in the main event only, which is 100 laps tonight. And Ricky Thornton Jr., not a good start, and he's back to 6th right now, Dustin Jarrett.
Yeah, again, the only solace is the fact that he does have a guaranteed starting spot in tonight's A main, but he would prefer not to start 19th if at all possible. He'd rather start 6th, 7th, or 13th. So, I mean, the bad news is, as you said, he didn't get a good start. The good news is there's only 1 lap in the books. He's still got 14 laps and a double file restart here to try to gain a couple more positions and find himself inside that top 3.
So right now it's Overton, McCready, Blair, Alberson, Gustin, Thornton, Erb, and Dome. In 1 lap in the book, 14 to go. The top 3 advance in positions 4 through 11, and that'll be taking out a provisional if we have to go to the B main.
Yes, just going to say Garrett Alberson. Garrett, he's only made this race 1 time, by the way. That was way back in 2015. Did Garrett Alberson. He finished 20th, so he's trying to make this race for the first time in nearly 10 years. Max Blair has never made the Dirt Late Model Dream. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing. 1 down, 14 to go. It's Brandon Overton on the point. He chooses the inside lane for this double file restart. They fire in turns 3 and 4.
The Eldora starts. Oh man, McCready cut right across the nose of Alberson into turn number 1. Here comes Blair through the middle. Thornton back up top. And RTJ down the back straightaway. And he and Blair will go door to door to turn 3. But Brandon Overton, 3-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner, out in front after 2 laps.
Yeah, here comes Garrett Alberson. He got shuffled back to 5th on that initial start, and he's able to work his way back inside one of those 3 starting spots on the next lap. 2 good friends behind him, the 111 of Max Blair and the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. Not only are the good friends, are parked right beside each other now. The 3 of those drivers find themselves in a dogfight for the 3rd and final transfer spot.
Well, no doubt it is hammered down. The tongues are hanging out of those engines. 900 horsepower, about 9,000 RPMs. Thornton in on Blair. And the 20RT will go back into position number 4. But out in front, it's Brandon Overton, your leader. Then it's McCready, Alberson. Off at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Trying to cut it in the lead. Last time it was 9/10 of a second. We'll see what McCready can do. Still narrow down here in turn 4, Dustin.
Maybe not enough talk about Brandon Overton coming into this race. He's got 6 wins on the year. He's made the race 6 times, James. He's won exactly half of those dirt late model dreams. And he's also got a World 100 Championship in 2021 going in there as well. 6 laps on the board. 6 laps are complete in this one. 9 laps remaining.
Right now, again, Ricky Thornton Jr. running in 4th. If he does not transfer, he does not have to run a B main. He would start 19th in the main event, but he wants to start a little bit closer here. So the difference, if he finishes 3rd, where would he start versus 13th? 13th for 6 months. And the excess power caution is out, Dustin.
Yeah, one driver, I see Billy Denby pulling into the infield pit area as he had trouble on that entry to the driver out of Tullahoma, Tennessee. So Billy Denby with issues on that rocket chassis, and that has put us under the excess power caution with 7 laps in the books. 8 laps remaining here in this first Ibach Springs heat race.
It's Brandon Overton, your leader. Tim McCready 2nd. Garrett Alberson 3rd. Ricky Thornton Jr. 4th. Max Blair 5th. Then it's Ryan Gustin, Zach Dome, Clay Harris, Dennis Erb Jr. Ben.
Randy Weaver, have these drivers, from what you've seen, have they seen these conditions yet this weekend they're encountering right now?
No, the track is way faster than it's been so far, and it's still just really narrow through 3 and 4. 1 and 2 starting to widen out a little bit. Like on this restart, you'll see the outside line get a little run, but everybody starts having to get down and get narrow down in 3 and 4.
All right, you're Thornton right now. You're in 4th. You're guaranteed a starting spot. You force the issue and risk possibly, you start closer up front, but you could ruin your chances for the feature later tonight if you damage that race car too bad. What do you do?
What I do, or what if I was Thornton?
What do you
Thornton's going to try to win the race. I would probably, if it's there, take it, but not push the issue. But he's got a good enough car, and he's got all the confidence in the world. He's going to put on a show.
All right, thanks a lot, Randy. Appreciate your insight as there's a good look at Premier Health Miami Valley Care Flight. They are at Eldora Speedway each and every time we open the gates. We hope we never need them, but it is certainly a nice little safety net to have, knowing that we've got a life flight right here on site at the Big E. As Barney Craig, the multi-time Eldora Speedway stock car track champion, is going to pull to the infield in the Eldora Speedway Ford Pace truck. We're going to get back underway, James, with 7 laps in the books, 8 to go in Ibach Heat 1.
Eldora start zone. McCready with the crossover. He'll try to go through the middle. Alberson down low. Thornton up top. Oh, man, they got close. 3 wide out of turn number 2. Thornton goes back to 3rd. Here comes Gustin. Gustin takes a peek to the inside of Alberson. He'll go back to the top. Max Blair on the bottom. Max will go to 4th. Overton still leads.
Max Blair trying to work his way in the show as well. He would be the driver's 7th in points after 2 nights of preliminary action. Oh, man, and Ryan Gustin and Garrett Alberson just made contact coming out of turn number 2. No harm, no foul as they are able to keep going, but they do lose a few car lengths to your 4th place car, and trouble behind them coming off the 4th corner, and the excess power caution is going to wave.
And Zach Dome got all out of sorts there and got down low there on the apron and brings out a caution.
We got a dust storm down in turn 4.
Is that a category 5 dust storm?
It's a desert storm is what it looks like down there right now.
9 in the books. We'll see what happened to the Cross Lanes West Virginia driver.
Yeah, we're coming around turns 3 and 4. And over on the road, Mark Whitener. It was Mark Whitener.
Mark Whitener, my bad. Yes. My apologies to
He
Zach.
almost went around, and he slid down to the infield, and the caution flag flies. He threw up a dust storm that you would not have been able to see through. Oh, and Garrett Alberson, guys. Garrett Alberson with a flat left front tire on the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing Longhorn. Man, what a tough break for the Las Cruces native.
Yeah, he's going to make his way down into the hot pit. R.C. Whitwell, his wife, Danny Alberson, down here waiting on that race car. car, and they're going to get a new left front on that entry. Man, tough break. He's had a fast car this year, a couple of wins, and he was in contention for a transfer spot. Meanwhile, right now, probably the biggest Ricky Thornton Jr. fan in the pit area is going to be McDowell, because he is third in the overall points, and the two highest drivers after heats that don't make it in, well, they get those provisionals we talked about. McDowell would be next in line, of course, after Devin Moran and then McDowell. So McDowell's going to come out in heat 3, could take a little bit of pressure off. And if we know anything about Dale McDowell, we know that he likes to come from like row 10 on back to be in contention at the Big E.
And that would guarantee that he makes the Dirt Late Model Dream, James, for the 17th straight year. Unbelievable. Also, by the way, worth mentioning, the yellow lights are turned off. There are no courtesy laps in the heats here at Eldora. So Garrett Alberson, they are not going to get that tire changed in time. I don't believe he's got to hope for an excess power caution here immediately.
And again, there's 14 cars out still on the track. You got to get in the top 11. And meanwhile, Overton gets the start out of turn number 4. Here comes Thornton on the bottom. Here comes Blair. Here comes Gustin. And Zach Dome. Zach Dome out of turn number 2. Zach Dome is going to go to 4th. Nice move. And here comes Dennis Erb Jr. So Zach Dome working that bottom. What else is new? But it's Overton still leads McCready and Thornton into turn 1.
Well, Zach Dome looking for a little bit of redemption after he got caught behind a lap car last night. He lost the final transfer spot in the B main last turn, last lap. He's trying to race his way in the show here this evening. Zach Dome has made the Dirt Late Model Dream 5 times, James. The last time he made this, and we've got trouble over in turns 3 and 4 as Kyle Bryant, the Navarre, Florida native, goes around, and that will bring up the excess power caution with 4 laps to go.
I believe, Tiffany, if you could help me, I believe, did Alberson lose a lap? They've got 11 in the books. I'm looking on my timing and scoring. Alberson would have been 14th. Again, he's got to run in the top 11 to advance. Bryant was 13th, as we'll see this going into turn 4, Dustin.
He was the last car on the racetrack. He just over-rotates in the corner. The tail end of the car comes around, and that puts us under this excess power caution flag. Again, with 11 laps scored and 4 laps remaining. Hey, do real quickly, while we mention it, want to give a big shout out to the folks from XS Power Batteries. They offer AGM, lithium, ultra capacitor batteries for all your needs. Doesn't matter if you got a street car, race car, audio system, RV, motorcycle, or anything. XS Power's got you covered, man. You can check out their website at 4, that's the number 4, xspower.com for more information. Thanks to Jed Emmert and the great folks from XS Power for coming on board. Real power, unreal performance.
Yeah, thanks to everybody this weekend. Coleman Farms, of course, XS Power, Dave Hoskey's Dirt Draft Winners Performance, Integra Eibach, Buzzy Racing, Flowhawk, and K1 Race Gear. We're doing the drone.
That's right. All right.
Ian Maui.
Ian Maui, that's right. Ian Maui and Rob Cutman out there on the drones as the yellow lights are turned off. That Eldora Speedway Ford Pace truck heads to the infield. 11 laps scored, 4 laps to go. Who's going to transfer to the main event? Top 3 drivers advance. It's Brandon Overton leading. He chooses the inside lane. Here comes RTJ.
And RTJ got a good bite out of turn 2, and he'll go around McCready. Dome will have to work to the outside. He's gotten around Gustin. He works around the 111 to Max Blair, bringing it out of turn 4. It is still Brandon Overton. He is led from the drop of the green in that Infinity by Wells car. 3 laps to go to start 6th in the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream tonight.
Infinity by Wells out front, Longhorn 2nd, Rocket 3rd. That's how they run as they come around to 2 laps to go. It's Max Blair right now on the outside looking in. He is looking to stay in that 4th spot, James, and get himself a good starting spot in one of those B mains a little bit later on tonight.
So down the back straightaway, it's about 7-8 car lengths last time around. It was just a little tick under a second. Let's see what happens this time with Brandon Overton. Ricky Thornton Jr., it's still 9/10 of a second. McCready in 3rd. Out at turn number 2, Brandon Overton. They had the engine change here after his heat race on Thursday night. Ended up in 10th in the main event. Right now, 1 on the final lap. Will take the victory here at heat number 1. Brought to you by Eibach. Finishing second will be Ricky Thornton Jr., third to Tim McCready, Dustin.
Yeah, fourth goes to Max Blair, fifth to Zach Dome. So third and final transfer spot to McCready, second to Ricky Thornton Jr. And there's your winner out of Evans, Georgia, in the Wells & Sons Motorsports, Garnto Southern Muscle Factory, Coltman Farms Victory Fuel, Clements Powered Infinity Race Car. How about a round of applause for the three-time Dirt Late Model Dream Champion, Brendan Overton.
Well, we go back to a couple of nights ago when they made that engine swap. We'll talk to him, but Eldora, come on, help me out. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Brandon, I tell you what, a couple of nights ago, you made the oil, or you made the engine swap with turbo, and it's paid off. You'll start 6th in the Dirt Late Model Dream. Congratulations, your feelings.
Yeah. Man, you feel like when you race here enough, the butterflies go away. I was about to damn puke up there during the national anthem. Just shows how special this place is. And yeah, I want to thank Turbo and all my boys and all the other crew guys that come over there and busted their ass to get us in this position. Yeah, we got a chance, you know what I mean? So we're going to go over there and work on her, and we're going to give them hell.
There you go, Eldora Speedway. Let's go, Brandon. He wins heat race number 1.
My goodness, that's awesome. I don't know what else to say. Okay, coming up next, it is Eibach heat number 2. 15 laps, top 3 transfer. On the pole will be the 0. 8-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner out of Mooresburg, Tennessee. It is Scott Bloomquist. And the Category 5, the 2S out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, is Stormy Scott.
Row 2 on the inside out of Eatonton, Georgia in the 10. It's Garrett Smith, and on his outside, the winner here last night out of Dresden, Ohio, Devin Moran.
And in row number 3, it'll be Tanner English, the 96th, and Chris Ferguson. Cody Overton and Shannon Babb in row number 4.
Row 5's Tim Lance and Jerry Bowersock. Row 6, Jackson Heiss and G.R. Smith. Rounding out the field, David McCoy, Ethan Hunter, Jensen Ford, Brad Eitenauer, and Truck Robertson unable to answer the call. 15 laps, 3 drivers transfer. They are going for starting spots 5, 8, and 14 in the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Bloomquist has won it again 8 times. 3 World 100s in Terry Wolfenbarger 0 car, but it's the Jason Durham Wrench S2S with the late Stormy Scott. On the outside, here comes Devin Moran, last night's winner, the 99, and we got a car in the wall in turn 4, and we got Eitenauer turned around, and the caution is out. So we'll go back to an original lineup. Brad Eitenauer there, the B4 car. Turned around. Coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, we did not get a lap in. I think Chris Ferguson may have made contact with the wall as well. As there's a look at the Mount Holly, North Carolina drivers, number 22, the Patriot Meat Processing, Live Oak Aesthetics and Family Dentistry, Spartan Transportation car. Let's go ahead and take a look at the FloRacing instant replay, guys, and see exactly what happened here to put us under this excess power caution. As a couple cars scattered in the back of the field, and that sent the B4U around, and then you saw Fergie getting into the wall. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, Stormy Scott, Jason Durham, they debuted this car at the Wild West Shootout at Vado Speedway Park back in January, the Category 5. Then they took a few months off, came back Batesville Motor Speedway, second the first night in the Bad Boy 98, $12,000 the next night. He's got a good race car as we come back to the green flag.
Again, Scott Bloomquist to Petrov Towing, the world-famous Cadillac Ranch for Terry Wolfenbarger. Powell, Tennessee will be in this car next weekend at Smoky Mountain. Out of turn 4, Bloomquist and Stormy Scott back underway at Eldora as we work lap 1 of 15 out of turn 2.
Stormy Scott's got a good run up on the outside. James, here comes Devin Moran in the 99, your winner last night, trying to make it a 3-dog fight. Up at the front of the field in this one, Garrett Smith right now on the outside looking in. Moran's able to drive by Bloomquist off corner number 4. Stormy Scott leads lap 1.
Garrett Smith in 4th. They go side by side out of turn 2. Moran in 99. Currently 3rd out of Lucas Oil Chase. Points as they go into turn 3. Bloomquist trying to hold on for 3rd. Garrett Smith, Shannon Babb at 18. Throwing it out way wide. is Ferguson, and he'll lose a lap or lose a ground to Babb. You see Garrett Smith there, the 2022 Dirt Track World Champion, right now in that third spot, Dustin.
Yeah, he just worked by Scott Bloomquist, so shuffle Scott Bloomquist out of the Dirt Late Model Dream as of right now. Bloomquist with that proverbial rear view mirror full of Shannon Babb, but no more. Shannon Babb's able to drive by the zero on the inside. Scott Bloomquist falling through the field in the zero. He started on the point. He's fallen back to fifth in the first 3 laps. So this one, though, he's going to maybe take fourth back as Babb slides way high down the corner. James battle for the lead.
Babb has got a fast high rod, just trying to keep it under control. Meanwhile, it's a 3-car length lead up front as we see the double box here. As Bloomquist into the wall, and Bloomquist on his lid into turn 3.
Red flag out on the speedway as Bloomquist and Babb make contact on the back straightaway, and Scott Bloomquist ends up upside down in the zero. Now 4 laps in the books, 11 laps remaining in this second iBox Springs heat race. Just got word from track officials that Scott Bloomquist is moving around inside the zero. Ladies and gentlemen, that is good news, as that was a wild accident at the end of the back straightaway at one of the fastest parts of the Eldora Speedway. So James, 4 laps are complete, 11 laps to go. Safety officials over there tending to the zero of Scott Bloomquist. And unfortunately, that will end his bid in this 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream. He's made 23 of the 30 races. He's won this event 8 times. 4 World 100 Championships. Of course, the 3-time Lucas Oil champ, the 2004 World of Outlaws champion as well. Last win came September 25th, 2020 in the World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series event at Thunder Mountain Speedway in Pennsylvania.
Randy, you're a guy that's high speed. You've been upside down. Talk about that right there, and you know what that was like for Scott inside the cockpit right there at the end of the back straightaway.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all. I mean, like you said, it's high speed, and when you get upside down, it actually makes you feel like you're running twice as fast. My wreck at Phoenix City, when I left the park, I mean, it was a real fast night, but it's nothing like this here, and I hope he's all right, because, man, that was the worst scenario. When you cross some people back over, if you get hooked there, the car's unloaded a little bit off the left rear, so it's real easy to make it tail out and go towards the outside wall, and then after that, you're just along for the ride.
So they are flipping that zero car back over on all fours before they get Scott extracted from the race car. Again, word from the track officials, as we mentioned, was that he was inside the car and moving around and everything. He's asked they get that car back on all fours, as a lot of guys do, James, until they climb out of the race car.
Well, he had that hard wreck, of course, at Ultimate, the Hunt the Front series, and lost a car. And then Terry Wolfenbarger, a longtime Team Zero customer. They're in Powell, Tennessee, and they've been working on this car for, 2 or 3 weeks, obviously.
Weeks, yep.
And they practiced last week in Mississippi Thunder. And they had plans, of course, to run at Smoky Mountain next week, but we're just concerned right now about Scott. We'll get him almost back over here. The Eldora safety crew, some of the best in the business down there.
Yeah, they do a safety training here,
absolutely.
Every single year. They go through probably the most rigorous safety training of any dirt track in the entire country. Back when I was the house announcer here, I got to see some of that, and they go through almost a NASCAR type training and how to deal with really and truly every single situation that you might imagine. It's usually either a 2 or a 3 full day training session on how to handle certain situations, how to tend to injured drivers, how to put out fires, how to approach race cars that have been upside down or that have been involved in accidents. And it's a safety training that very candidly that you hope that you never need. But it is something that, again, if I'm being very transparent, every single racetrack in the entire country should go through as well. So Scott Bloomquist is inside the race car. He's awake. He's already talking to officials and things like that. He's going to get out of this race car very gingerly. Of course, James, you had mentioned too the injury. He had the hip injury there a couple years ago.
Yeah, the back end. He's got 2 torn rotator cuffs as well, and
Shannon Babb for a short period of time actually drove one of Scott's cars, drove a Team Zero race car.
Of course, Dick Hoffman's been in. Of course, Scott and, of course, Chris Madden there, in 2019. And that. Okay, helmet is off. He is talking to the Eldora safety crew down there.
And, man, that was just... can't emphasize enough with all the technology we have and all the cameras we have, it still does not do any justice for how fast these race cars are going. So as a safety precaution here at Eldora, James, anytime anybody gets upside down, they do transport them. One of the great things about Eldora Speedway, like NASCAR tracks, they actually have an infield care center with trained staff right here on site in case anytime something happens. Again, Eldora Speedway, if somebody gets upside down, they do go to that infield care center. So we're going to get Scott out of the car as gingerly as possible, noting that he was upside down at the fastest part of the racetrack and noting the injuries that he had previously as well. And they're going to transport him down to the infield care center. Again, he's saying that he's okay, but again, giving the nature of the accident, the previous injuries that he's had, going to take him down to that infield care center just as a safety precaution.
Hey guys, he's coming out of the car. Let's hear it for him.
And there you see technical officials down there tending to Scott. I see World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series Director Steve Francis down there as well. And Scott out of the car making his way. There he is. He's waving to you, ladies and gentlemen. How about it, Scott Bloomquist?
Always the showman, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we do have a couple looks. I wanted to wait to make sure that he was okay and able to get out of that race car under his own power before showing the FloRacing instant replay, James. Here's a look at what happened to the Zero of Scott Bloomquist.
Well, they come out of 2 down the back straightaway, and they're
Yeah, he came up. I think he thought he maybe had Shannon Babb cleared, and Babb was kind of driving off the corner.
Right.
Bloomquist was coming up the racetrack, coming off the corner, and just a point of contact for those two drivers. And I'm telling you, there is no, as Randy Weaver mentioned, there is no video in the entire world that can do justice as to how hard that impact actually is. That is a...
of course, you know, the self-containment seats, the head and neck restraint.
Yeah.
And all of that. And he almost got the pit gate, didn't he, back there?
Yeah.
He might have brushed it very slightly. But, man, that's tough. That's 2 cars in a month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. It doesn't matter who it is, right?
No, it doesn't matter who it is. No, I mean
it's that is losing two race cars like that in a month is that is a big hit financially,
right.
Obviously,
right.
And quite honestly, that is as any driver will tell you, that's a big hit to the self-esteem and the morale as well. And it doesn't matter if it's Scott Bloomquist or a guy that works a 9-to-5 job and races for fun about once a week. That is a tough deal to endure right there.
So, well, you know, Billy Moyer's here this weekend, and he started in 1977, and think about that, and Scott Bloomquist in 1980 out in California when he lived there, and they just love doing it. It's hard to walk away. It's hard to, you know, and there you see him going in the infield. The crowd just gathered back over there just to see that, to see him get out of the car, thankfully. And again, we're going to transport him to the care center here in the infield and give him a look over, and maybe we might get a word with him in a little bit here once he clears through that. So we've got 4 laps in the books. Stormy Scott is your leader. Devin Moran is second. Garrett Smith is third. Shannon Babb is fourth. And it's Chris Ferguson, Cody Overton, Tanner English, Jerry Bowersock, and G.R. Smith. Scott was on the last completed lap running in fourth.
So that red flag is out. Again, 4 laps down, 11 laps remaining here in this second Ibach Springs heat race. As this accident that saw Scott Bloomquist get upside down at the end of the back straightaway is what's put us under this red flag here in heat race number 2. Take a look at this instant replay once again. See exactly what put us under the red flag. Shannon Babb and Scott Bloomquist making contact near the end of the back straightaway, James.
Yeah, they'd been throwing some sliders back and forth there the last few laps before that, but he did get right. That pit gate was right there. That was the first contact.
Randy Weaver, you mentioned this, but again, just to reiterate, there are no camera angles, and there is nothing that we can even say to put into words how hard of an impact that is, especially at a track like this at the very end of the back straightaway.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're in there, I mean, when I say long for the ride, I mean, it gets quiet for a minute, and then you're upside, and then you hit, and you ain't for sure which way you're going, and it's not very fun at all. And, you know, I just don't know what really went on there. I mean, I don't know if Shannon had got up in that cushion so much and was, of course, trying to steer out of that, and then all of a sudden it caught. I mean, I've watched Shannon Babb race my whole life. I ain't never seen anything out of line that I've, you know, especially him and Scott. So, man, it's just unfortunate for both those guys. And like I said, the main thing, it just hurts worse than it used to. I mean, when you get older and still trying to keep up with these young guys, and then something like that happens, you feel it for a long time.
And Randy, from the opposite vantage point as well, I don't know if you've been involved in an accident like that before or not when you're on the other end of it, but from Shannon Babb, it's almost tough to kind of gather your composure back together and get back to racing again when you know that you were involved in something like that.
Oh, it is. I was thinking that while they was sitting here in turn 1 and watching the replays. I mean, I don't know Shannon as far as nothing but respect him as a race car driver, but you know it's sitting there eating at him, and you know that you just caused this to happen or was part of it, and you feel terrible, but at the end of the day you got to suck it up and get the rest of this heat race in, and then, you know, I'm sure there'll be apologies and talking and whatever they need to do after that, but yeah, it definitely weighs on you pretty hard.
All right, guys, 4 laps in the books, 11 to go here in this heat number 2. The top 3 advanced. Stormy Scott is led from the drop of the green. Now Moran in the double file restart at the Eldora Speedway start zone. Off at turn number 4, we are back underway.
We are indeed going back to green flag racing. A great view there from turn number 1 as they fire again. Stormy Scott in the lead. Here comes Devin Moran down the back straightaway.
Into turn number 3, Devin to work the bottom, squeezes down there. Man, that was close. He might have a little bit of contact. Moran's going to take the lead. Stormy Scott will lose some ground. Babb is third. Garrett Smith fourth. Here comes Cody Overton. Cody Overton trying to make it in his first dirt late, but a dream to 97 down the back straightaway to Dave Stein. Molly Piston's car, but Devin Moran picking up where he left off last night, out in front at Eldora.
Yeah, behind him, second is Stormy Scott, and a good battle for third, fourth, and fifth behind them as Shannon Babb holds close in that third spot. There's the battle for fourth. Two drivers looking to make the dirt late model dream for the very first time. The 10 of Garrett Smith and the 97 of Cody Overton. 8 laps remaining in this one, 7 in the books, 8 laps to go. Devin Moran out front by 8/10 of a second over Stormy Scott.
His dad won the dirt late model dream once, 4-time World 100 winner, the Eldora Million in 01. Moran looking for the biggest win of his career here tonight, $100,030 to go with the 25K he won last night. Heads down the back straightaway. The Rogers Sellers Double Down Motorsports entry, and we've got an excess power caution in turn number 4.
Yeah, 2 drivers have spun to a stop on the inside of the track over in turn number 4. One is the B4U, Brad Eitenauer, and I believe that might be Jackson Heiss, the other driver that is sitting on the inside of the racetrack over in turn number 4, and that will bring out the excess power caution at about the halfway point with 8 laps in the book, 7 laps remaining. James will take a look at the FloRacing instant replay and see what brought out this excess power caution.
Go down here, you see him right there, and Jackson Heiss, rookie here at Eldora, just got turned around. Right now we're nowhere to go. Jackson Heiss currently 10th in the hunt, the front points, the top rookie in that series. So we've got 8 laps down as we're halfway through this one. Moran, Stormy Scott, Shannon Babb, your top 3, DJ.
Yeah, and again, they are battling for starting spots 5, 8, and 14 in tonight's dirt late model dream. So the driver that finishes third is going to roll from the 14th starting position. The driver that finishes second will start 8th later tonight, and the driver that wins Ibach Springs heat number 2, he is going to start in position number 5 in tonight's 100-lap, $100,000 to win main event.
I believe Devin's best finish was, what, 2016?
I can tell you that in just one second.
Double check for me, right 8 years ago.
It was 2016. He got 7th. Good job. Very good.
Stormy Scott, Devin Moran on the double file restart. 7 down, 8 to go. Back underway here at Eldora. Here comes Tanner English.
That 99's a rocket ship. That 99's really, really good right now, James. Here comes Shannon Babb on the outside of Garrett Smith, battling back there for that third spot. Babb in 18, Smith in 10. The blue 97 is Cody Overton, 6 to go in Ibach heat 2.
And you notice it's also widening out as well, so we're picking up some speed down the back straightaway. It's not one lane anymore. Moran to the top. Devin led all 50 laps here last night. Down the main straightaway, second is Scott, third is Babb, fourth is Overton, fifth Smith, sixth English, seventh is Ferguson.
Those top 2 drivers put a little bit of gap between themselves in the battle on your screen. That's the battle for the final transfer spot. Shannon Babb has it. Cody Overton trying to take it away. Cody Overton trying to race his way into the dirt late model dream for the first time. He closes right in on Babb. He'll now dive down to the inside, James. He'll take the spot away momentarily. Babb will try to cross him over down the back straightaway. That's the battle for third with 4 laps to go in this one.
Good one there. Final spot. Oh, Babb slides. Cody gets a little sideways. They go side by side down the straightaway. Into 1. Overton's going to throw the slider. Babb with the crossover. Shannon to third for the final spot to the dirt late model dream. Right there in this heat race, it's all Moran and Scott. You're not missing anything up front, Dustin Jarrett.
No, those 2 drivers have pulled away by 2.1 seconds over this battle as they're throwing haymakers at each other for that third and final transfer spot. That move right there might be the one that gives Cody Overton that third position, puts him in the dream for the first time. James White's out, 1 to go.
Also the first start for an XL chassis.
That's right.
Right there in that third spot. First start for a Category 5.
Oh my.
In second. Here comes Devin Moran to the finish line, Dustin.
Checkered flag in the air. The winner of Ibach Springs heat race number 2 is going to be the 99 of Devin Moran. Second goes to the 2S of Stormy Scott. Third goes to the 97 of Cody Overton. He makes the dream for the first time. Shannon Babb finishes 4th, and Garrett Smith will round out the top 5 in Ibach Springs heat race number 2. Third and final transfer spot, starting 14th for the dirt late model dream, is going to be Cody Overton. Finishing second, he'll start 8th later tonight, the 2S of Stormy Scott. And the winner of Ibach Springs, heat race number 2. He will roll from the 5th starting position a little bit later on tonight. He is in the Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Days RV, Smoky Mountain Speedway, Big River Steel, C&W Trucking, Red Oak Pub, CarSourceAuto.com, Sponsor 99 out of Dresden, Ohio. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for Devin Moran? So Devin Moran going to make his way to the scale area. And then he will grab a word with our very own Mike Norris, pending he meets the minimum weight requirement for the heat races of 23.50. Green light comes on. Mike Norris, he's going to grab a word with you.
Yep, 6 wins. How about this? He's raced 33 times. He's got 27 top 10s, 21 top 5s, and I mentioned 6 wins, 30K with the Lucas Oil Late Model Speedway Fall Spring Shootout. He's won the Show Me and your 2018 Prairie Dirt Classic champion. Devin, the great state of Ohio is smiling as big as you are, my man. You have got one heck of a hot rod. How did it feel out there? And is it good enough to win here tonight?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, it's crazy in that 15 laps. The track actually transitioned quite a bit. It's going to have a cushion on it all night, but I think we'll be able to make that middle work like we did last night. Hopefully we just make the right adjustments and see what we can do.
All right, Buckeye State, OH. Devin Moran, your winner.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Yes, we've got Ibach Springs heat number 3 on the track. 15 laps, top 3 transfer. The top 3 in this heat race will start 4th, 9th, and 15th in the 30th running of the Dirt Late Model Dream. James, give him the lineup in this 3rd Ibach Springs heat.
Well, the Paler Motorsports 93, it'll be Carson Ferguson. He hails out of Lincoln, North Carolina, and outside looking for his first Crown Jewel victory at Eldora in his final full season of Dirt Late Model Racing. It'll be Chris Madden in the 44 out of Great Court, South Carolina.
We move back to row number 2, and on the inside we find the current World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series points leader in the Titorig Racing 9. That's going to be Nick Hoffman, and on his outside out of Chickamauga, Georgia, he's made this race 16 straight times. He's a 2014 winner. How about it for Mac Daddy Dale McDowell?
He's going to be in it because he would be the first provisional if he doesn't make it out of this heat, but he will be in the show. Inside row 3, the defending World of Outlaws Series champion, the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois. It'll be Bobby Pierce. And on the outside, the Hunt to Front driver, the number 10, the Kubota entry. He is currently 5th in the Hunt to Front series. That is Joseph Joyner. He is out of Milton, Florida.
We have a pair of Smiths rolling in row number 4, unrelated on the inside out of Cedartown, Georgia. In the 11, that is going to be Austin Smith, and on his outside out of Dade City, Florida, the 17 double S, that'll be Brendan Smith.
The Bristol Bullet now hailing out of Salem, West Virginia, the 25. It'll be Mike Bennett, and on the outside, the ESD Motorsports entry. The 2X out of North Augusta, South Carolina, is John Henderson.
Dustin Nobby, the 2021 Ironman North Series champ, starts inside row 6 in the 5 in, and on his outside out of Kingston, Georgia, the 31 is Tyler Millwood.
Is Jeff Babcock out there? Do you see him?
I do not see the Wayne
scheduled
Hurricane.
to go in the 9P. Jamie Elam, he's there, the 12 out of Senatobia, Mississippi. Then you have Trey Mills out of St. Augustine, Florida. Mason Ziegler, the 25Z, Chalk Hill, PA, and no Pierce McCarter.
So if everybody is able to answer the call.
Hey guys, real quick, Rocket One Racing, Tim McCready, engine change happening back here. They transferred to the feature. Something not quite right though, so they're not going to take any chances. Engine change for the main event.
All right, hang on real quick as well. Looks like John Henderson has elected to tag the tail of this 3rd Ibach Springs heat race. So Henderson scheduled to start outside row 5. He is going to roll from the final starting spot in this one. James, top 3 transfer. They are vying for starting spots 4, 9, and 15 in the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Here comes Carson Ferguson. Here comes Madden into turn number 1. Chris Madden, can he finally get that first Crown Jewel victory at Eldora? Carson Ferguson will leaving room. Matt Hoffman trying to sneak down low. As he entered turn number 3, you have Dale McDowell. He will be in the show no matter what happens in this race. because he is first in provisional line, third highest in points after the last 2 nights. And the first 2 are in, Thornton and Moran.
Man, Carson Ferguson and Chris Madden almost made contact right there. And that actually is going to end up costing Carson Ferguson because he opens up the door for Nick Hoffman. Hoffman's going to take the tie Toric number 9 down to the inside and move into that runner-up position. So Carson Ferguson now sitting on the bubble in the Paylor Motorsports number 93. That means Bobby Pierce, Dale McDowell, and Brendan Smith right now on the outside looking in. Bobby Pierce trying desperately, James, to race his way into the show.
Dale McDowell back there just taking it easy right now, running through the middle up top. Boy, Devin Moran was right, and we noticed that up here, how quickly that track dried out during that red flag period for Scott Bloomquist. But right now it's all Chris Madden in the 44 car, the dried-in entry, Great Court, South Carolina. Pierce is going to throw it in on Ferguson right up. Oh, man. A little bit of contact, and Ferguson out of sorts coming out of 4.
Yeah,
and McDowell will get around him, DJ.
You're exactly right, James. You read my mind. Ferguson will lose 2 spots right there as Pierce jumps up into that 3rd and final transfer spot. McDowell moves up to 4th, and Ferguson falls to 5th, and he may not be done yet. It's just off your screen. The 17 double S of Brendan Smith is trying to work by Carson Ferguson, rather, and grab that 5th spot.
For the last month or 2, Brendan Smith very much improved. Right now, back there out of a transfer spot, but it's all Chris Madden, about a half a straightaway lead. In fact, it's 1.8 seconds the advantage for the driver. The 49-year-old at a Great Court, South Carolina, as the sun comes back out here at Eldora. So down the back straightaway, sun-drenched, but it's Madden, Hoffman, and Bobby Pierce, your top 3.
Yeah, that's going to affect this racetrack a little bit as well. They've been under cloud cover here. It was a little bit kind of a hazy overcast day up until about 2 p.m. or so. The sun came out, and the sun was out most of the afternoon. It dipped behind the clouds there about 6:30 or so, and there had been cloud cover really, James, throughout the last hour and a half. Sun peeking back out now. 8 laps in the books in this one, 7 laps remaining as Bobby Pierce has reeled in Nick Hoffman. It's the battle for second on your screen. It happens 1.6 seconds behind the 44 of Chris Madden.
The oil system, the engine, they changed that yesterday on their day off. Pierce, who ran Thursday night, was dominating. Mechanical issues near the end of the race knocked him out. Meanwhile, it's still Madden, Hoffman, Pierce, McDowell, Carson Ferguson. Pierce trying to catch Hoffman, but it's been all Chris Madden looking good at that Dryden 44 into turn number 1. Out at 2, Dustin down the back straightaway. We've got 5 to go.
Although I will say these last 2 or 3 laps, both Hoffman and Pierce have been turning faster lap times than Chris Madden. Madden's lead had ballooned up to over 2 seconds at one point. That lead now down to 1.2 seconds in the waning stages of this race. Just 4 laps to go, and Madden's quickly closing in on a couple other drivers near the back of the field as he's going to try to put a lap on the 31 of Tyler Millwood. There's the 9 of Hoffman. There's the 32 of Pierce. You see the gap from first back to second.
Yeah, Ferguson and then Mason Ziegler, who started shotgun on the field, looking for a good starting spot in the B main as Madden will throw the slider on Millwood here in 4. There's Hoffman back there as Pierce going for it, and Dale McDowell lurking right there. You wonder what's going through Dale's mind. They just don't want to get caught up in anybody else's mess, do you? If something happens, they get in a wall or something. He's trying to cut down that advantage on Pierce, but again, he will be in the show. If he finishes 4th in this race, he would start 19th here tonight in the Dirt Late on a Dream Dust.
White flags out, final time around in Ibach Springs, heat race number 3. Chris Madden's been your leader since the drop of the green flag. Pierce going to throw a slider on Nick Hoffman. Hoffman will cross him back over. We know Madden's got this race won. We'll keep it here. Checkered flags out. Chris Madden wins. Ibach Springs heat race number 3. Down to the line. The battle for second. Give it to Bobby Pierce over Nick Hoffman. So Pierce will grab the 2nd spot. Hoffman finishes 3rd. 4th goes to Dale McDowell. And 5th goes to Carson Ferguson. How about that one, James? The 3rd and final transfer spot will go to Nick Hoffman. 2nd is going to go to Bobby Pierce, and the winner of Ibach Springs heat race number 3, he will start 4th in the Dirt Late Model Dream. He's finished runner-up in the Dream 3 times. He is the driver out of Great Court, South Carolina in the Franklin Enterprises, Henderson Amusement, Dryden Performance, Millwood Plumbing sponsored 44. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for Chris Smokey Madden?
Well, thank you very much, guys. 2 wins on the year. Here in the Dirt Late Model Dream, he's made it 16 times. He's He's had 13 top 10s 6 times. He's finished in the top 5. He had 9 wins a year ago. 2023 was second in the Dream. 2022, second in the Dream. 2020, he finished runner-up in the Dream. He'll roll off 4th in the 2024, the 30th edition of the Dirt Late Model Dream. Smokey, here we are again, you and I. Is this finally your year?
I definitely hope so. You know, we got a good start there and was just able to get out there and get into some clean air and get it done. We wasn't real good up there on that cushion. We were just extremely way too tight, but we'll have a good car for the feature here. Hopefully they'll keep working on the racetrack and get that curb down up there so we can race on it and put on a great show for the fans.
Said he's going to cut back starting next year. We'd love to see him in victory lane. How about at Eldora Speedway for Smokey, Chris Madden?
Thanks a lot. Down there, Mike Norris. Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 4 is on the track right now. 15 laps, top 3 transfer. James, they are vying for starting spots 3, 10, and 16 in tonight's main event.
Well, the Gary and Angel Shirley-owned G4. It'll be Trent Ivey, the little head knocker. He's out of Union, South Carolina. The best performance, number 1. Out of New Waverly, Texas, is Tyler Erb.
In the Shane Sprinkle 97, it's going to be Kate Dillard at Robin Lee, Louisiana on his outside. Now at a Critton in Kentucky, the 11R is Josh Rice.
Devin Gilpin, good run last night, 18th to 10th. The 2018 Eldora track champion, 4-time Brownstown track champion out of Columbus, Indiana. And Mikey Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee, the 157. Brian Shirley in the Team Zero Bloomquist 3S. Austin Kirkpatrick in the 11AK.
Cade Loudy in the 126. Ethan Dotson in the 74X row 5. Row 6, Stephen Robertson, the 111. Mike Provenzano in the M27. Your final starters, Riome, Cowan, Anderzak, Elam, and Evans. 17 cars set to go 15 laps. The driver that finishes 3rd starts 16th. 2nd starts 10th. The winner starts 3rd in the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Here we go, Rice. Now, Rice would be the 2nd provisional right now if he doesn't make it out of this race. Josh will go to 3rd. Down the back straightaway. 3 wide. Down the back straightaway. As they work into 3, Tyler Erb, your leader. Rice throws it in car 11. Off at turn 4, that Rick Jones car. He'll take the 2nd spot. 3rd is the G4 of Tyler Ivey, not Tyler Ivey, but Trent Ivey.
Trent Ivey, close. Close, not Petey Ivey. It's his son, Trent Ivey, and Ivey was looking for 2nd there momentarily. Mike Marlar right now on the outside looking in. That's the battle for 2nd on your screen. Josh Rice has it. Trent Ivey trying to take it away. And this all happens behind your race leader, Tyler Erb, and the Best Performance Motorsports number 1, Mike Marlar. James right now on the outside looking into that Greg Bruning-owned Skyline Motorsports 157.
By the way, of the 9 cars already in, only one of them have ever won the Dream, and that's Brandon Overton, who won it 3 times. And Tyler, about at turn number 2, he has never won it. Josh Rice, nor Trent Ivey down the back straightaway. I don't believe Trent Ivey's never made the Dream, has he?
That is correct.
He was the last car into the Eldora Million 2 years ago with that last lap pass coming off of turn 4 to get in the show.
Yeah, Marlar right there, James. You just saw it. Marlar got into the wall coming off turn number 4. He scrubbed off some speed, allows the 97 to 1G to get by. Brian Shirley driving by momentarily. So Marlar trying to get his feet back under him and gain more positions. And if he can't make it out of this heat race, is at least trying to battle back up to get himself a good starting spot in one of those 2 B mains a little bit later on tonight.
Good battle there between Dillard, Marlar, Shirley. He's back in that Team Zero car that's been very efficient here the last couple of years, and Gilpin to the 1G. Up front, you're not missing anything. Lead for Erb, Rice, and Ivey. As we head into turn number 1, 6 down, 9 to go.
Josh Rice has made this race 3 times, James. His dad, Jerry Rice, the former Eldora track champ, also made the Dirt Late Model Dream 3 times. Right now, you're looking at the battle of two of the drivers are on the outside looking in. That's the battle for 5th. Mike Marlar has it. Brian Shirley trying to take it.
Down the back straightaway, Josh Rice has cut that lead down. It was 0.5 of a second. Here comes Rice through the middle. Rice making up time. Down the main straightaway, it's still Erb, Rice, and Ivey. 4th is Dillard. 5th runs Marlar. 6th is Shirley.
Rice looking down to the inside of Tyler Erb. James, that's a battle up front for the lead in this 4th Integra Shocks and Springs heat race. He has closed in on the race leader, Tyler Erb, who at one point had a 1.5 second lead. Will give that lead up. Josh Rice, James, going to take it away momentarily. Here comes Turbo back to the inside.
Josh Rice, the defending Northern All-Star Late Model Dirt Series champion, into turn number 3. Here comes Turbo on the bottom. Out at turn number 4, 5 to go. Rice and Erb, a pair of rockets at the line. Rice into 1. Josh Rice, if he can keep that quarter panel on tonight, Destin, Jared, he might be a dark horse pick.
Man, he looks good right now. He's going to work by the 24 of Elam down the back straightaway, and the excess power caution flag flies. Trouble for Cade Dillard in the 97 as the Robley, Louisiana driver had slowed on the back straightaway, and that will bring out this excess power caution with 10 laps in the books, 5 laps remaining as he has pancaked the right side of that race car. And here in just a moment, we'll take a look at the FloRacing instant replay and see exactly what happened to the 97 of Cade Dillard.
Yeah, guys, looks like he's going to make the ill-fated left-hand turn, as you mentioned. Looks like cattywampus or on the right rear, so heavy damage.
Right rear, and it threw him into the wall, that right front. So suspension damage on the right front for Dillard. And Cade heads back to the pit area in that Shane Sprinkle 97. So how about Ben Shelton, Josh Rice? And we talked about it all week. If he can keep that quarter panel on tonight and that spoiler on, he might be a dark horse to win the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Yeah, he was 6th back in 2015. He 3 starts in this event. He was 19th a year ago. He's got a hot rod, as we talked about last night, now residing in Crittenden, Kentucky. And he said that's one reason he hasn't raced more this year, made the move over there. 1 win on the year at Atomic Speedway, and he leads the way over Tyler Erb. And right now the restarts are key, but I tell you what, Josh Rice's car's got better and better as this race has gone along.
Yeah, one thing about his dad, Jerry Rice, Ben Shelton. Jerry Rice won the first ever Sunoco American late model race here in 1995. He also won the first race promoted by Tony Stewart here in 04. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of history there. And you talk about the American Late Model Series, his win, the rejuvenated Valvoline Ironman American Late Model Series, that's his 1 win on the year at Atomic Speedway. So a lot of connections there, and that family obviously deep roots here at the Big E. Josh loves this place loves Josh, and he has got that J. Dickens Rocket XR1 rolling right now.
Well, Tyler Erb right there running in second. Of course, Best Performance Motorsports. We've seen him for a long time. Eric and Kelly Brock. Just up the road in St. Mary's, Ohio. And Erb, who from Texas, but he lives in Wapakoneta.
Yes,
Ohio,
he does.
Which is not very far from our stone's throw away.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, it's good to see. I don't know we're getting him on tonight. We get to see Carl Short up here visiting us. Of course, we mentioned his Dirt Track World Championship coming up here. It's traditional 3rd weekend of October, where the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship will be decided as well. Meanwhile, here in Integra Shocks and Springs heat number 4, guys, the yellow lights have been turned off. The Eldora Speedway Ford Pace truck is pulling to the infield. 5 laps to go in this one. Again, they're battling for transfer for starting spots 3, 10, and 16 in the Dirt Late Model Dream.
On the Eldora restart zone, here comes Rice, here comes Ivy in the G4. Marlar trying to get back into Shirley on the bottom in 3. Herb through the middle, Rice.
Rice slipped.
And Rice is in trouble. And Josh Rice is off the pace. And they get around him. Something happened to Josh Rice.
Oh, man.
Going into 3, but he is the first provisional. But problems on the Rick Jones number 11, Dustin, as he tries to make his way to the pit area. Guys, here comes the driver that was leading this race.
Yeah, and it was just like that car did not want to go on that restart. As you said, he is in line for provisional here tonight as he rolls slowly down onto pit lane. That car, no power to it right now, so not sure if it's something in the drive lane or what, as he's gonna, sounds like the engine is running, so perhaps something in the drive line on that race car, and you hope that's it, not an engine change. But it did sound like the engine was running as they pushed it back toward the pit area.
Well, that will reshuffle the deck at the front of the field, guys. Is 2 drivers that had been running in transfer spots, or had been running inside the top 5 rather, over the last 2 caution flags, have fallen by the wayside, and Josh Rice and Cade Dillard. That now puts Brian Shirley up into that 3rd and final transfer spot with Mike Marlar. Now 1 spot out of a transfer, Norris.
Oil pump belt has broke.
Oh,
man.
You saw his brother James Rice down there, so they're going to have, now they're parked up top, so they're going to have to get back up there because, like I said, he will start 19th here tonight. And on the restart, holy cow, Trent Ivy spun his tires, and Erb just walked away from him, and Brian Shirley is up to 2nd now. As you mentioned, and Gilpin's to 4th. Man, oh man, what a change. We lost 2 of the top 3 here in this last lap, Rice and Dillard.
Yeah, Shirley. Shirley's going for the lead, James. He started 7th in this heat race. Brian Shirley in that Bob Collin Racing. Brian Connor, Team 0, number 3S, is stalking your race leader. It's a difference of 7 starting spots.
Marlar.
Main event. Oh,
he hit the wall a ton in that Skyline Motorsport. He is going hard, and he can't turn that car. He has no downforce at all going into the corner, and Marlar hanging on right now. But up front, Ivy, have you ever seen it about like Heat 5 like a couple of years ago at the World? They're 3 wide into turn 1 almost. Hang on, there is Cade Loudy trying to get his first dream. Austin Smith. No, that's Austin Kirkpatrick.
Austin Kirkpatrick, all the Austins out there, James. White flags out, final time around. And it looks like Tyler Erb has got this one in hand.
Maybe.
Second, Brian Shirley. 3rd, Trent Ivy. That's how they run through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. The winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 4 is going to be Tyler Erb. 2nd goes to Brian Shirley. 3rd will be Trent Ivy. Ivy going to make the dream for the first time. Finishing in the 4th spot is going to be Devin Gilpin. And the 126 of Kate Loudy rounds out the top 5 in a wild 4th heat race presented by Integra Shocks and Springs. The 3rd goes to Trent Ivy. 2nd goes to Brian Shirley. And there's the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 4. He will start 3rd in tonight's Dirt Late Model Dream. He's out of New Waverly, Texas, in the Best Performance Motorsports. Langdon Felder Mechanical Contractors, BulkMaterialLift.com, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, Roberts Beat Company sponsored number 1. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, for the 27-year-old, it's Turbo Tyler Erb.
Tonight will be the 5th Dirt Late Model Dream start for Tyler Erb. He was 6th a year ago, his best finish of 5th back in 2019. As he picks up the win, he will start 3rd on the grid, and it is a juggernaut of a log jam trying to get these guys off the track down into staging, and that was quite the heat race number 4. As, man, I tell you what, Josh Rice, bad luck there. At least he does get a provisional, and Mike Marlar comes by, and he has just mashed the entire back end of that Skyline Motorsports 157 in as the First Class Septic. Robert Speed Company Best Performance Motorsports 1 of Tyler Erb gets the win, and he will start 3rd here tonight in the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream, pulling off the Simpson gloves, and he'll pull off a helmet. A heat race winner here last night, and Turbo a 3-time winner this year, as the helmet will come off. Well, Turbo, you got the win, man. That was a wild one. You had your hands full. What do you need to change on this race car for 100 laps tonight?
I have no fucking idea, but if I did, I would already do it. But just shout out to Langenfelder Mechanical, Best Performance, all my guys. This has definitely been the best Eldora week I've had as far as, not just killing everything we got and actually having some speed. So, yeah, we got a couple ideas. I definitely could tell you what'll make you drive backwards. So just try to make some good decisions and hopefully have a good run.
All right, well, he knows what not to do, and it still resulted in a heat race win. Sometimes you got to be lucky more than you got to be good, and that worked for Tyler Erb. We'll go over to Mike Norris. He's got an update on Josh Rice.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Real quick with Josh Rice, oil pump belt broke. He doesn't think he can get the engine changed in time. He is wondering if he can go to a backup car. So a little bit of drama with Josh Rice, and doesn't think he can get the engine swapped in time, so he's wondering if he could go to a backup car.
I mean, he's in the feature. I think you can go back to the back of the next race you're in, which would be the feature, so we'll have to get confirmation on that.
Yeah, so the provisionals are taken care of right now, so it'll be McDowell, who ran 4th in his heat race. He will start 19th, and then Josh Rice would start 20th. Of course, it was back in the day, you could not go to a backup car here at Eldora. Not sure exactly 100%.
They changed out a Wiseman, maybe, 8 or 10
well,
years
remember
ago.
Nick Hoffman and Blomqvist's car? Didn't that happen a couple of years ago? So Well, 2 more heats, and you know what that means.
Yes, that means we have got Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 5 pulling on the racetrack. Guys, real quick, before we give the lineup, send it back down.
Yeah, real quick, talk to Steve Francis down here, and he said, yes, they will have to put another car through tech, but Josh Rice can change cars. He'll have to start on the back of the feature.
All right. Hey, by the way, winner share of the 50-50 up over $43,000. James, Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 5 is in the staging lane. The driver that finishes third will start 17th tonight. The driver that finishes second in this one will start 11th. And ladies and gentlemen, the driver that wins Heat 5 will start on the outside front row of the Dirt Late Model Dream. Here is your starting lineup.
On the pole in Jeff Matthews Motorsports 12W out of Hampton, Georgia, it'll be Ashton Winger on the outside. Big Perm, the final winner of the East Bay Winter Nationals at the Rattle of 18D. Fayetteville, North Carolina's Dalton Wilson.
Road number 2 on the inside out of Martinsville, Indiana, the Kevin Rumley Racing 71. That'll be the new deal, Hudson O'Neal, and on his outside. Now a 5-time dirt track world champion out of New Berlin, Illinois. In the B5, it's Brandon Shepard.
You did well on that one, my friend. The 19M, the JCM Motorsports car. It'll be Spencer Hughes out of Marina, Mississippi, and on the outside, the hard charger one night ago from 23rd to 8th will be the 20 of the 2009 Dirt Late Model Dream winner, the Newport Nightmare out of Newport, Tennessee, Jimmy Owens.
The Rooster, Dustin Linville, going to start inside row 4, and that Danny Hatcherone 6, and on his outside, and the Billy Hicks Racing 79 out of Dawsonville, Georgia, D-Mac, Donald McIntosh.
Corey Hedgecock in the BMF car for Sean and Lisa Martin. He's out of Loudon, Tennessee in 36 feet. And Alan Stick, the 11S, Americus, Georgia.
Row 6, Dylan Thompson out of Paducah, Kentucky in the 99, and Hohenwald, Tennessee's Oakley Johns in the C6.
Well, Jimmy Mars won the Dirt Late Model Dream in 97. His son, Sammy Mars, the 20-year-old Menominee, Wisconsin, starts inside row 7. And Christian Hanger, the 29, out of Winchester, Tennessee.
And your final 2 starters then, Casey Noonan and Bryant Dickinson back in row number 8. Again, 16 cars, 15 laps. Top 3 transfer. The winner starts on the outside front row of the Dirt Late Model Dream. The driver that finishes second will start 11th. The driver that finishes third will start 17th. 4th through 11th go to the B main, James. Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 5 is going green coming off turn number 4.
Wow, that was a slow start, wasn't it? So you've got O'Neal, last year's World 100 winner, Shepard, last year's Dirt Track World Champion. How about that K&L Rumbly 71? Battling for the lead down the back straightaway from 15th to 2nd here on Thursday night. Into turn 3, Winger trying to hang on to the lead. Ashton, into the wall is
Big Perm.
Big Perm, and he gets all out of sorts. Coming down the main straightaway, he's about 3 or 4 cars get around him.
Wow, tough break for that Jeff Gullett Reds James Ratliff Racing 18D of Dalton Wilson. He's going to try to get his feet back under him. Right now in the 5th spot in a highly contested heat race. Back in the front of the field, a highly contested battle for the lead as Ashton Winger has it. And we've got an excess power caution as the 99 of Dylan Thompson goes around over in turns 3 and 4.
Just as O'Neal was throwing the slider into turn number 2 there. O'Neal winning the Valvoline Ironman race last Saturday at Atomic Speedway in Chillicothe, a game he came here on Thursday. Started 15th, finished 2nd, and we'll see what happened to the Paducah, Kentucky driver.
Yeah, tough break there for Dylan Thompson. As there on the right side of your screen, you see the 99. He's going to go up the racetrack, and the car over rotates, and he goes around a nice piece of driving by Alan Stick to get by in the 11.
All right, 2 laps in the books. It'll be Ashton Winger, O'Neal. They'll be side by side on the restart. Then Hughes and Shepard, Wilson and Linville. I tell you, get into that wall. If we can get a shot, Tiffany, of Dalton Wilson's car, he got in the wall in turn 4. And he lost some spots, and we'll see him when he comes around here on the front straightaway. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and honestly, if he hadn't tagged the wall, I think that car would have come on around James. He tagged the wall, and it kind of straightened that MGL Auto Sales Grantley Farms 18D back around. So the Viva Las Vegas, the retro Vegas wrap, and you see the damage there on the right rear of that 18 car as Randy Weaver, you talked about it earlier, but even in these 15-lap heat races, a little bit of damage like that can upset the air on these race cars.
Yeah, and he's lucky it didn't just jerk the right front end to the wall like we seen earlier in a couple of guys. But man, I'm telling you, it just kind of messes with your head as a driver because you know you've already kind of handicapped yourself a little bit with some aero problems. But those guys are young. They don't care if they have it or not. They're going to still put it up there and hope for the best.
All right, on the restart, 13 to go for the outside of the front row for the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream. Ashton Winger. These starts and restarts, I mean,
you never know.
There you go, O'Neal. Here comes Shepard. And to see the run out of turn number 2. O'Neal working the bottom. It's Spencer Hughes down the back straightaway. Spencer Hughes will go to 3rd in the 19M.
Spencer Hughes trying to make the Dirt Late Model Dream for the very first time in that JCM Motorsports entry. He finds himself right now in that 3rd spot. Here comes Hudson O'Neal. He's going to drive down to the inside of Ashton Winger. Winger going to cross him over coming off turn number 2. Good battle for the lead in a difference of 9 starting spots in the Dirt Late Model Dream. The winner of this one, James, will start 2nd. The driver that finishes 2nd in this one will start 11th.
His dad, Don O'Neal, won the Dirt Late Model Dream before. Hudson on the bottom, side by side with Ashton Winger. Working the bottom is Hughes. Here comes Shepard up top. The Coleman Farms B5, the Longhorn Factory car, Shepard Riggs. Good battle. Good 4-car battle, making a 5-car battle with Jimmy Owens off at turn 4, Dustin.
Here comes Jimmy Owens, 2009 Dirt Late Model Dream winner in that Bobby and Jessica Kohler number 20. He's down to the inside of Brandon Shepard. Shepard trying to get a run on Spencer Hughes. That's the battle for the 3rd and final transfer spot here in Integra Shocks and Springs heat number 5. Here comes Brandon Shepard. He'll take it away. And the excess power caution is out. Donald McIntosh went around or nearly went around down in turns 3 and 4 with the 36V of Corey Hedgecock also involved.
Not happy with each other there, are we? Yeah.
Well,
Tiffany Swisher, our producer, done a great job, as she always does. Let's see what happened here between McIntosh, who got in there on the Hatcher 6 of Linville. Let's see, and there you go. There you go. Tennessee and Georgia going at it like an all-SEC battle right there.
You know what? That could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Bulldogs and the...
It could have been a lot worse than what it was right there.
The Bulldogs and the Volunteers going at it.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, well, 5 laps are in, 10 laps remain. What else could happen? It's Heat 5. You never know what happens in Heat 5 at Eldora. Again, the winner of this race starts 2nd in the Dirt Late Model Dream, rolls from the outside front row. The driver that finishes runner-up in this race will start 11th tonight, and the driver that finishes 3rd in this heat will start 17th this evening.
Randy Weaver, can you hear me? Are we getting close to the track conditions we had here one night ago?
Yeah, I think it's just dirty enough now that it's going to be way better in the feature. Of course, they're having to prepare for, twice as many laps than we did last night, but right now it's looking really good. And what's funny about that is, like DJ said, that could have been a lot worse on the McIntosh and Corey deal. But you can just see it's getting that time of the program that you pretty much brought all your friends with you. So here we go.
I'm actually glad Randy Weaver can tell which one of us is which now up here on the microphone. We're getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. 5 laps down, 10 laps to go. Ashton Winger chooses the inside lane on the restart. They fire off turn 4. Here comes Hudson O'Neal.
Sammy Mars, give him a shout out. First time here working that bottom. And Winger will throw it up on O'Neal. Hudson will go to the bottom. Down the back straightaway, go the door-to-door to turn 3. Shepard has climbed to 3rd. Linville is 4th. O'Neal keeping it up there. The K&L Rumley 71. Lionel Racing, and O'Neal takes the lead.
Hudson O'Neal, your leader here on lap number 6. Ashton Winger trying to race his way in the show. That car shoves up the racetrack, though, and allows Brandon Shepard to get a run down the back straightaway. Top 3 cars putting just a couple car lengths between themselves in your 4th place car. Shep now trying to take 2nd away, and he's trying to bring the 6 of Dustin Linville with him.
Yeah, the second time I believe Linville's been in that car. He was in it at Brownstown a couple of weeks ago for Danny Hatcher. Shepard, Shepard and Winger going at it. Like you said, no friends out there, right? They're going side by side at a turn 4. Shepard's going to get him. O'Neal pulls away. Look at this 3-car battle right here. Linville, Wilson, and Spencer Wilson into one. Business is picked. We got a car slowing McIntosh into turn 3, and the excess power caution is out. Dustin Jarrett, wow.
8 laps down, James. 7 laps to go, and a flat left rear tire for Donald McIntosh's 79, that Billy Hicks Racing double nickel car. And that's a tough break for your now 3-time and reigning Ray Cook Spring Nationals champ, Schaefer's Oil Spring Nationals champ, as Donald McIntosh going to pull to the hot pit.
Randy Weaver, I've got a question. Turn 2 seems to be really slippery up there. They cannot get in there and turn that car, can they? It seems like.
No, and what happens there, like earlier when you said the sun come back out, it was actually the front stretch and it was all shaded. So that sun really makes it drier, and then when the dust goes across, when somebody's running the bottom and it dirties up that black streak, it's just like you're on marbles. So they get in, pick the fuel up real early, run really hard across the center, and then you hit that marble patch, and you're just kind of hoping for the best.
Yeah, they lose a lot of momentum there as we've got caution 7 laps to go on the Billy Hicks 79 of Donald McIntosh.
And that 79 is they're getting that left rear shoe changed, trying to get him back out on the racetrack so he can rejoin the tail end of the field. As they're going to let the jack down, Donald McIntosh, he is going to make his way back out. Now it'll be a race against time for him to get back out and try to catch the tail end of this field before they get the green flag. 8 laps in the books, 7 laps remaining. Hudson O'Neal, your leader. Brandon Shepard second. Ashton Winger runs in third.
Yeah, Dustin Linville, one of those weekend warriors we talk about, trying to put it in the dream. Look at this in the 1. They're 3 wide. Out at turn number 2. Here comes Dalton Wilson. Hughes is going to slip back. Here comes Sammy Mars on the bottom. Wow.
Corey Hedgecock with a head full of steam on the bottom as well. Dalton Wilson, he's got that high side hustle back again. Here comes the 18D trying to work his way in. Is Ashton Winger falling back now. Winger in third, Linville fourth. Here comes the 18D of Dalton Wilson. They're going at it tooth and nail back there for positions 3 on back. Trouble for the 79 again, and Donald McIntosh.
And he can't make it to the infield when the excess power caution is back out for McIntosh, who has a flat left rear tire on the 79 car.
Again.
Yeah, guys, on the 79 car, the left rear tire, when they replaced that, the body damage is so bad when they got together earlier that they couldn't get it pulled out. So anytime that it accelerates and the left rear runs up, it was just laying all over the door brace. So they're going to have to do a little more work besides just change a tire.
And that Jimmy Owens was, what, up to 5th, and now he's back to 10th. How about Oakley John? Shout out to him, the Hohenwald, Tennessee driver. First time here at Eldora in the Jeff Greer-owned car. So on the double file restart, 5 to go, Dustin. 10 in the books. It's O'Neal, Shepard, Winger, Linville, and Dalton Wilson.
Heat 5.
I don't know.
I mean,
first and second looks pretty good, but they're on back. I have no clue.
You never know what's going to happen on these Eldora restarts, as we'll try it again. James said 10 down, 5 to go in Heat 5. The winner starts on the outside front row of the Dirt Late Model Dream.
How about Hedgecock working the bottom? Winger up top. Battle for the lead. O'Neal and Shepard. Linville fourth. Ashton Winger runs in third. Here comes Dalton Wilson. Wilson to the top, trying to get that Radliff 18D rolling. Dalton Wilson, a good run down the straightaway. He goes to the outside. Linville leaves him room into turn 1.
Austin Linville on the inside. Dalton Wilson on the outside. Remember, Wilson had that scrape with the wall down in turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap of this race, and that shuffled him deep in the field. He's trying to work his way back up now and work his way in to the Dirt Late Model Dream for the second time in his career. Right now, though, James, he's on the outside looking in. There's your lead trio. O'Neal, Shepard, Winger running 1, 2, 3 with 3 to go.
Wilson and Linville as they head into turn number 3. The Lionel Racing, D&E Marine, Cornet-powered Longhorn for K&L Rumley. Kevin Rumley into turn 1, 2 to go. For the outside of the front row, Shepard as O'Neal slides up the track. Meanwhile, Dalton Wilson trying to reel in that third place car. He'll have a run down the back straightaway as we head to the white flag.
We may need to double it up here on the last lap, James, and right on cue, baby. There it is. Dalton Wilson with a head full of steam, trying to get the final transfer spot. Sheppy trying to take the win away. We're going to keep it glued right here. Down the back straightaway, it's going to be Hudson O'Neal. He'll hold off Brandon Shepard and get the win here in heat race number 5. Shep crosses the line and finishes second. The battle for third down to the line. Give it to Ashton Winger, who races his way into the Dirt Late Model Dream. And Justin Linville goes up in smoke as they take the checkers.
And wow, because he finished 6th, right?
Yeah.
He would have a decent starting spot in that second B main, but the Hatcher's Auto Sales C Motors entry got some mechanical issues, so the top 3 will go to the scales. It'll be Ashton Winger, your winner, third place rather, the number 12. Second to go to the B5 of Brandon Shepard. And your winner, he is in the K&L Rumley, D&E Marine Lionel Racing, Senior Life Insurance Company, Rumley Engineering, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, and USSSA Softball, Mark Martin, Automotive Merrill-Bonning. The defending World 100 winner, he'll start second tonight out of Martinsville, Indiana. How about it for Hudson O'Neal?
Hudson O'Neal, a 5-time winner this year, and he started 5 Dreams last year, his best finish ever, 7th. Tonight in his 6th start, he will go after a win. His dad won this race back in 2011, and he easily clears the scales. The K&L Rumley Enterprises, number 71, has taken a break from the family-owned team here this past week or two. Picked up a win in this team last week. And Hudson picks up the win in Heat Race 5. Hudson, I tell you what, man, how big was last weekend to shake this thing down at Atomic to get ready for the Dream in a car that you're not real familiar with?
Yeah, it was very important. To go there and get laps at a place that we can kind of maybe learn a little bit for here was really crucial to our whole weekend. We were just lucky to get a few good restarts there and be able to get the lead, and we got ourselves a hell of a starting spot. So hopefully we can hang on. I just can't appreciate everybody on this race car enough, all the partners, Longhorn, Kevin Rumley, everybody. Hopefully we can be standing on this stage one more time tonight.
All right, he's going to start outside front row. That's your Coltman Farms Racing interview with the winner of Heat Race number 5, presented by Tegra Shocks and Springs out of Martinsville, Indiana, Hudson O'Neal. He will start second. Guys, who's going to be the pole sitter? We're about to find out.
Guys, Tegra Shocks and Springs, Heat Race number 6 is in the staging lane. Top 3 transfer 15 laps. James, the driver that finishes 3rd, will start 18th. The driver that finishes 2nd will start 12th. And the winner will start on the pole of the 30th Dirt Late Model Dream.
It'll be Shane Clinton. He won the Dirt Late Model Dream back in 2012. Zebulon George in the Capital car. And Ricky Weiss in car 7 alongside the Sniper chassis out of Headingley, Manitoba, Canada.
2-time Dream starter Kyle Bronson going to start inside row 2. He's out of Brandon, Florida. And on his outside, 2-time and reigning Dirt Late Model Dream champion out of Blairsville, Georgia, the Lance Landers Racing 49 Superman Jonathan Davenport.
Billy Moyers won the World 106 times. That's more than anybody else. He has won 2 times here at the Dream. 852 career wins. The Infinity by Wells out of Batesville, Arkansas. It is Billy Moyer. Kai Blythe on the outside in the Paul Stupper 31 AUS. He's out of Bunbury, Western Australia.
4th row back on the inside, defending UMP national champion out of Bloomington, Illinois, in the Tumbling Dice 25, the high side hustler. That's Jason Fager. On his outside, the current Tyler County Speedway points leader, trying to race his way in for the first time out of Pennsboro, West Virginia, the Land Shark, Ryan Payne.
Mike Knuckles turning the wrenches on the 18B, Mohawk, Tennessee driver Brad Dyer, and on the outside, currently 3rd in the World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year chase, the 22X out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Max McLaughlin.
Jackson, Ohio, modified graduate Seth Daniels will start inside row 6, and on his outside, out of Holland, Ohio, in the 63, that's Terry Rushlow.
It's all kryptonite in row 7. It'll be Tyler Carpenter, who led laps here in the Dirt Track World Championship last year, and his dad, Fast Freddie Carpenter, in the C4, both out of Parkersburg, West Virginia.
And your final 2 starters, Brandon Moore in the 39 and the 48 of Mike Myers. This looks like Mid-Ohio Valley heat race number 6 with Ryan Payne, Seth Daniels, and the Carpenters.
Well, we had Simpson Race Products heat number 4. It'll be
with both Simpsons.
With both Chris and Chad Simpson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, final heat race of the night. 15 laps in distance, top 3 transfer, 4 through 11 go to the B main. The driver that finishes 3rd will start 18th. The driver that finishes 2nd will start 12th, and the winner of heat race number 6 will be the pole sitter for the 30th running of the Dirt Late Model Dream.
Can the Eldora Dominator, Jonathan Davenport, come through here? Out of turn number 2. Again, the provisional's already taken. He would be next in line as they head down the back straightaway. But he will not get a provisional because it's already been locked up as they go into turn 4. Bronson to go to 2nd. Davenport to the outside. He made the move on Weiss out of turn 4.
My goodness, he threaded the needle right there. Look at KB40, Kyle Bronson. He wants to start from the pole, but he leaves Clanton a lane. Clanton has just a handful. He's only had 4 or 5 late model starts the entire year this year. He's out front, James, and he wants to start on the pole for this 30th running of the Dream.
Thursday night is 6th race of the year, 19th to 6. Bronson will slide up the track. He'll leave plenty of the room down the back straightaway. Here comes Davenport charging at 3rd. Then you have 4th is Weiss, and here comes Billy Moyer. Billy Moyer looking to the inside. The 21 in the Cooney Motorsports Infinity by Wells, trying to go side by side. Moyer and Billy Moyer will gain another spot, Dustin.
Moyer up to 4th. He wants to make his way into the Dirt Late Model Dream for the 18th time in his career. Meanwhile, in front of them, Jonathan Davenport down to the inside of Kyle Bronson, a battle for the 2nd spot. Davenport will take it away. That just moved him from the 18th starting spot to the 12th starting spot. He's not done yet, though. He wants the pole for this 30th running of the Dream, James.
Been on Moyer's car there because he and Weiss made a little bit of contact when Moyer got around him as they go into turn 3 and 4. And the excess power caution is out on the racetrack, and we got a car going in the field, and it's Ryan Payne.
Yeah, tough break there for the Pennsboro, West Virginia drivers. He's got damage on the right rear of that race car, and that may very well end his hopes of clinching a starting spot in the Dirt Late Model Dream for the first time, as he's going to go to the attention of his crew down in the hot pit.
Yeah, he makes his way down. All 4 tires up on this race car, but they're getting some spares off the 4-wheeler. We'll see if they elect to change. He's got a lot of damage, not a ton, but just enough to be a problem on the left side of this race car. As right at the back of the door and the quarter panel, they're going to go to work on the body and decide if they want to put a tire on there or not. But not much time, guys, as lights will be turned out momentarily.
Well, yeah, you see the damage on that race car, and you see the rivets come out from where the door connects to the quarter panel as well. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happened. So he may have made some contact right here somewhere. Oh, he got side. Oh, he nearly went around, and Seth Daniels had nowhere to go and got into him as well. Daniels with damage on the left rear of that race car. James, we get ready to go back to green flag racing. 4 down, 11 to go here in Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 6. Clanton on the pole, and here comes Davenport.
He tried to squeeze him there, didn't he? Into turn 1. Here comes Bronson on the bottom. Moyer back and forth. Davenport's going to take the lead. Down the back straightaway. The 5-time World 100 winner, 2-time Dirt Late Model Dream, the Eldora Million winner, Bronson and Clayton going at it. Billy Moyer right there in 4th as they head down the main straightaway. And here comes Fager at 25.
Jason Fager at 25 trying to work up there as well. There's the black 25 of Shane Clanton as he gets shuffled back to the 3rd spot. Kyle Bronson right now in 4th. Behind them, Ricky Weiss and Billy Moyer going side by side for position number 4. Weiss going to try to take that spot away. Moyer going to try to battle back on the outside.
Jonathan Davenport stretches it out down the back straight. It was 1.8 seconds. It'll be probably over 2 seconds this time around. Bronson solid in 2nd, Clanton 3rd, Moyer, Weiss going at it back and forth. Here comes McLaughlin in the 22 in his first start at Eldora in a late model. Meanwhile, Clanton hanging on. Shane down the back straightaway, and he's got about 4 guys won that final spot here in the final heat of the night.
Man, this 49 is an absolute rocket ship, James. I mean, they just came around to the halfway point, 8 down, 7 to go, and Davenport is stretched out to a 2.6 second advantage over Kyle Bronson and Shane Clanton. I mean, that 49 car is unbelievably fast, and if he stays out front for the final 6 laps in this one, he is going to start on the pole of the Dirt Late Model Dream as you see the gap from the 49 of Davenport back to the 40B of Kyle Bronson.
And that car, again, that's one he's driven, what, here, the last 2 or 3, won over $1 million with that car.
5. You're exactly right. Yep, 5 to go this time by for Jonathan Davenport. Over a 3-second advantage now for the driver to Blairsville, Georgia, in the Double L Motorsports 49. KB40 hanging on to that second spot. Shane Clanton right now remains in that third and final transfer spot as Seth Daniels going to pull the 21S down to the pit area and going to call it a night.
Davenport into turn 1. You know he's what he's going to say if he crosses the scales okay. We could get better.
Get better.
We saw the domination at Wheatland a few weeks ago, DJ, at the Show Me 100, where he led all the way and he won by over 5 seconds.
Yeah, and it's a scary thought, that 49 getting a little bit better. Just 3 laps to go in this one now. James, a 4.1 second advantage for Superman Jonathan Davenport. He's closing in on the back of the field as it looks like the 39 of Brandon Moore, the 48 of Mike Myers, about to go a lap down to Superman. 2 to go.
Yeah, they're straight away. Boy, he splits right through him. Hang on, he's got to keep it out of the wall, and he might have brushed the wall.
Oh, my.
Boy, that was whew.
I mean, throwing caution to the wind, he's got over a 4-second lead in this one. Wow.
Good thing he had those Death Reach optician glasses on, and that was a close call. White flag, 1 to go.
He did. He did make a little bit of contact there with the race. You can see the right rear of that race car. Final time around for Superman Jonathan Davenport, as he has got this one well in hand, as he will roll through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. The driver that's going to start on the pole of the Dirt Late Model Dream is Superman Jonathan Davenport. Kyle Bronson. Oh, in trouble. Oh, baby, a massive hit over in turns 1 and 2 as this one went checkered. Bronson was second, Clanton was third, Weiss fourth, Max McLaughlin fifth. Terry Rushlow went around over in turns 1 and 2, and Mike Myers, with nowhere to go, absolutely careened into the 63 in a violent impact just as the checkers flew in this one.
Well, guys, Jonathan Davenport, the winner of the final heat race of the night. He will start on the pole for the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream. Your defending Dirt Late Model Dream champion, 3-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, 5-time World 100 winner, 2-time Dirt Late Model Dream winner, currently second in the Lucas Oil standings, 5 wins on the year, putting $50,000, picking up his second career Show Me 100 title a few weeks ago, pulls off the Death Ridge optician glasses. Well, JD, I dare ask you if you think the car could be better for the feature, because it seemed like apart from lap traffic, nothing was going to slow you down. You won by a straightaway. Can you be better for the features, the question?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I felt like crap right there, but I'm sure everybody else did too. It's super slick, and we went a little harder tire than I think just about everybody else in that heat race did there. I think there was 2 or 3, maybe 2 more that went the same thing, but yeah, right there, like we just killed our right front from like lap 5 on, so it was just kind of sliding around from there, but had fun. Luckily, you know, we got the win there. There was a few close calls there, but survived all that. Just got to thank my guys once again. Say hello to Lance and Darla watching back home, Mom and Dad, and I don't know, we get to lead them to the green, so I hope we can stay there.
That's going to be dangerous, guys. He didn't feel very comfortable. He won by a straightaway going away. Jonathan Davenport will start on the pole for the 30th annual Dirt Late Model Dream.
Ben, thank you very much. And word from turn 1, both Terry Rushlow and Mike Myers are okay. So thankfully for that. And I'm not sure, Rushlow, I think, then this was after Rushlow got into the wall, I think, the rear end of his car, and then Myers, as Rushlow came down the track, I believe, as the checkered fell. And there's Mike Myers climbing out of his car, the 48 car, the Ruleville, Mississippi driver. Brought along Jamie and Jake Elam this weekend. First time here at Eldora, and there's Terry Rushlow, the Holland, Ohio driver, in that Mike Anderzak-owned 63 car. So 2B mains coming up. We'll have a little bit of break, DJ, as you see. And again, both drivers, I'm sure, shaking up just a little bit there. That was hard impact, as you mentioned.
Yes, it was. Hey, this is, by the way, James, the last call for 50-50 as well. So whether you're here on the grounds or anywhere in the state of Ohio, again, last call for 50-50. You can get those tickets right here at the track or at Eldora5050.com. We are quickly approaching $50,000 for the winner's share of the 50-50. So if you haven't bought tickets yet, you may want to buy some now. If you bought some earlier, you may want to buy a few more. Again, quickly approaching 50 grand, the winner's share of the 50-50. So tonight's first buzzy